Avast, ahoy, and good day once again to ye mateys! I be your sudden but inevitable DM Josh the Pirate, and it brings me more satisfaction than ignoring someone who tells me I can't be a man because I don't smoke the same cigarettes as him. To welcome you back to Corsair's Cove and my Humblewood world for the next part of our new story of Hearts and Homes. Above me, I have my hearty crew, the numinous Daria, surname redacted, the nuanced Zach, the Renegade Chicken, and the nubile Mr. Jonathan Best. So, let's talk about these lovely folks. Deny it to me, John. Deny it.
Never.
Hey, Bishop Blood. So let's talk about these wonderful beans. Daria, who the heck are you?
I'm Daria, I'm an artist, you can find my art here, and you can find me here, sometimes, on Thursdays, playing Julio.
That's right, where's the light? Exactly. Zach, who the heck are you?
I'm Zach, and I am just happy to be here. It has been too long since I've been involved with anything else streaming to have anything else to announce, but I'm enjoying it.
Totally fine. Well, maybe soon, maybe for
Indeed.
Candlekeep Mysteries, perhaps, maybe.
Maybe.
I need to poke Daria about that as well. Daria, maybe DMing, maybe, because you did a heckin' good job of it last year.
Heck yeah.
John, who the heck are you?
I'm John. I've been playing D&D for a little while, but not streaming. So this is my second stream now, and loving it so far. So very keen.
Hells yeah. And I be Josh the Pirate, and I'm enjoying a new alcohol-free beverage, or exceptionally low alcohol beverage. This is a less than 0.5% alcohol hoppy ale by Tinnies, and it's actually really quite pleasant. Back when prawn cocktails were fine dining, and the pearls were big enough to take an eye out, beer in a can was called a tinny. From simpler times comes the inspiration for this modern craft beer with Australian classic name. Cheers, mate. And it's very pleasant.
It sounds like a commercial.
Yeah, I was reading the back of the tin. Ahoy, mateys, I be Josh the Pirate. You can find me here on my channel, Corsair's Cove, but you know that because you've done it already. Good job, keep doing it. I know, Shadowheart, that it's actually lovely, and on a 38-degree scorcher like today, that's centigrade, my friends. I don't know what it is in Fahrenheit. Too hot is the answer. I've been in the pool 3 times today, and I will be going in the break. So yes. And Shanahass, it gets worse. It's going to be that way for at least the next week. Karen and I have been sleeping on a wet towel in front of a fan.
It's difficult to roll that. Like, for a D20, you'd need a plus 18 to your temperature to even get that possible.
Yeah. It's a lovely day, and I'm happy to be where I am. So, yes, I run D&D here and all over the internet place, really, with my lovely friends and my lovely wife, Karen, the mother of bunnies. You can check us out on our YouTube and all that stuff, because I have written things, so I could actually mention them like that. I must remind our non-violent, non-stop, and possibly even non-taxable audience to please like, follow, and subscribe to all the things, you bloody champions. We've got all the exclamation mark socials, if I could spell it right. We have a YouTube where you can check out all the episodes you may have missed, including last week's episode of this. If you didn't know, if you didn't catch it, you fools! But you can catch up with it there. And we have a Discord. If you want to come and hang out with us, you can. Where all the glorious, cool, and groovy things are announced and told and seen what happens. Next week, we will be having most of the Teens in Space crew. We'll probably be hopefully having the Teens in Space crew back on Monday evening, but if we can't, then we're going to swap over and do a bit of Major Magicka instead. And Major Magicka is an awesome rules light system, and what was really cool, we did a run of it a little while ago, and apparently the creator of that system recently found it and tweeted about it and tweeted us in response. I don't know these people from Jack, and they like my shit. It's really cool. So it gave me a lift, it gave them a lift, everyone was kind to each other. I loved it. It was great. Because it's a really good system, and I heartily endorse checking out Major Magicka if you haven't yet. Other than that, let's get into the thing. Daria, what the heck happened last week?
Oh, I'm so happy you asked.
No, you're not.
So, the journey began with Julio going back to his childhood foster home, a Lady Escanda's home for woodland waifs, back in Espinoro, which is like a Mediterranean climatey place with a big population of cat people. And he went there with the express purpose of planting a seed of a winter blossom from the life plane, as per the wishes of the plant. But when he got there, the lady of the house, Caspia Iskander, who is a priestess of a Amaranthine called Naba, who's not very well known or popular, mostly because the Amaranthine disappeared at some point. She told Julio that the land is kind of sucking ass right now. Like the plant won't take because things are rough in the jungle. And the reason the things are rough in the jungle is because they're to make the jungle and the area around it livable. Back in the day, priests of Naba sacrificed themselves and left special like soul stones in the jungle to kind of appease it and keep the peace. And the Heart of Dako, one of those stones, has been taken out. And it was taken by the company of the Blue Rose, who actually were pretty cool. Nadia, the leader, kind of hard. But they unknowingly took it and were celebrating. And Julio found two lovely companions to help retrieve the thing. We have Bron, who is an inventor, very sweet and gullible Vulpan, and we have Kingsley, a majestic Gallus bard. And together they were actually able to convince companions of the Blue Rose that the Heart of Dako would bring them nothing but stank, and they were on board to kind of like say, okay, you know what, I don't want plague upon my house for like forever. That doesn't really work with my plans. But the lizard folk, the lizard people who were kind of guides to the temple and back, did not want to give the Heart of Dako back because they want the jungle to revert back to the wild state. They kind of hate the idea of the priests putting their religious symbology in the temple. And when we stole the Heart of Dako, on the way back, we talked to one of the lizard folk who told us that the priest is in the jungle now, doing his own little thing, and Julio is like holding out hope that they will be able to talk to the priest and kind of come to an amicable solution between the city and the lizard folk. But something tells me that things won't go according to plan. One of the things that tells me that is the fact that when we were crossing a rickety bridge to the temple, a bunch of lizard folk started to running right after us, like 20 or something, and throwing darts and rocks and poop and stuff at us. It was not. As an empath, I felt like they were being angry at us, so mostly from the darts. So this is where we left, and yeah, I'm excited to see how we die.
Absolutely. Hey, Laura, I put a picture of Nadia up in the up on the stream as well, because the artwork in this is a published module by the Hit Point Press, and that is Nadia Dar. There is a couple of others as well. This is Mateo, the Frost Sage, as well, which is another really cool piece of artwork. Oh, I need to
he's
just
cool.
a little bit more. Yeah, he's dope. I love that. And then they have a little, those are the only two who are right aligned on this page, so I don't have any more. But, yeah, they're rather good.
I see a stat block, write that down.
Go away. And behind it, that image there, is the Temple of Naba that you are heading towards as well. Because I've ripped some information and pictures out of the book. So, yes, hey, Laura, lovely to see you. I must also point out that we are affiliated with the wonderful chaps over at Wooten Forge. Wooten Forge Gaming Accessories create some of the possibly D&D... WA, and possibly even the world's finest handcrafted wooden tabletop accessories, like this gorgeous Jarrah Dice Keeper, or this wonderful Chewett Adventurer's Chest. There's one here. Ugh, look at that. I really like the fact that these little are padded, so you can put minis in them and they don't get damaged. This is my mini carrying box, really. Yeah, they do loads of cool things. They even do like etching on it, laser engraving, that sort of thing. Check them out, woodenforge.com/Corsairs Cove. Yeah, be bloody champions if you did. And we are also supported by Troll Lord Games, who create TTRPGs of their very, very own. And you can check them out at trolllord.com. Yeah. Amazing creators and huge supporters of the TTRPG space in Twitch and all over the internet. Very, very cool folks. Check them out, trolllord.com. One last thing. We are also continuing to support the Ukrainian people because they're going through a shit right now. So if you could, if you have any pennies in your digital wallet, please consider chucking them over at the Emergency Action Appeal, which is a group of Australian charities and not-for-profits that have banded together to see if they can't raise a bit of money to help the Ukrainian refugees generated by that war. Over 8 million refugees, and that's a heck of a lot of people. That's like 3 times the population of the place I live. So yeah, a lot of people, and they could use the help. Thanks very much, bloody champions. Right, let's get into it, shall we? With those things out of the way, Sirenscape is providing the music. Mateys, may rival adventurers take curse warnings seriously, and all your rocks be tasty and delicious, as we head tremulously at first, and then with mounting heat and passion into the Everden. So, we need to guess. Julio was, like Daria was largely correct. There was a pursuit force of Tilia, the lizard folk of the Everden, pursuing you over a rickety rope bridge. We rejoin our heroes as they dash across the rope bridge over the mighty Red Raw River, hotly pursued by a group of lizardfolk treewardens with differing views from them on the subject of forestry conservation. The Tilia pile onto the bridge. It begins to waver and shake, precariously swaying to and fro with every step you take. Your hands can feel the tug and tear of the ropes as they snap beneath the unwelcome weight. Currently, you are about 40 feet across, so you are right in the middle of this canyon. The Tilia are moving along behind you, but this is not a strong or safe structure. Moving more than half your speed, as in moving at more than slow pace, will require safety checks to stay on board. The Tilia do not seem bothered by it. Most of them have prehensile tails and are coming at you rapidly. So I think what we'll do is roll a bit of initiative just to determine sort of how things are occurring and in what order, because they very much want to stop you crossing to the other side.
I have 12.
A 12 from Bron.
Well,
I have
Fine.
dirty 20.
A dirty 20 from Julio. That's the same as you had last
10.
time. And Kingsley gets a 10. So let us see what the Treewardens can do. A 15 plus like 4. So they did quite well, but not quite as well as Julio. Let's say 19. There you go. Easy. Right. So Julio, you are up first and probably leading the way across this bridge. What do you do?
Oh, okay. So we're 40 away from the
other side.
end. Mm-hmm. Okay. So is this a skill-based thing or?
If you want to run, it is a skill-based check to.
How many of them are there?
About 15.
Yeah, we took like how many turns to defeat 3 or 4?
It was 4.
I don't think we're fighting
it was like
these
5
guys.
turns. I think, yeah. But how much damage did you take? Like none. Very
That's
little.
true. Okay, looking back over my shoulder to assess the situation and assess my comrades. Does it seem like Braun and Kingsley would stand their ground or run?
Bron is probably in the process of casting grease. It's not my turn yet, but
Okay,
if
so
you
that seems
would
like...
look at him, he's like
He's
getting
casting
out.
something.
Yeah, he's doing a thing.
Kingsley's eyes, I think, are wide, and he's clearly looking towards the other side of the gorge.
Got it. Okay, yeah. I think our priority right now is getting over the bridge so that if anything happens, it's on solid ground. So I have a thing that I might be able to do.
Hey, Rob.
Can I... Ooh, this will be... Okay, question. Can I, using Druidcraft, strengthen with some vines the planks ahead of us so that guys are capable of like running without worries of snapping the bridge?
It's just not that strong a spell.
Just a cantrip, yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. Wither and Bloom does not actually create...
Yeah, not
Plants?
on dead
Shit.
plants. Like, these vines
Okay.
aren't... The ropes and vines that are holding you up aren't alive.
Okay, in that case,
The rope bridge could easily be broken. You feel
Yeah,
it,
but
like,
I'm
you
not
feel
gonna-
it breaking underneath you, like...
Yeah, I just need to find a way to protect the
Just
guys
saying.
from that until we cross. Okay, so I can take my bonus action, my rogue bonus action to dash, yes?
Yes. Oh my, yes.
So that's what I'm gonna do. I will use
Believe
my
you can move your
nimbleness-
full movement 3 times if you want to. Even at half speed, you could actually probably get almost the entire way across.
Yes, I'm using my acrobatics and my jumping ability. I want to cross as fast and like carefully as I can. That's probably gonna take my movement and my bonus action. Yes.
Yeah, at least. I mean, your movement, I think, is 25 feet a turn, not 30, because you're a Gerbine, or am I wrong?
My movement speed is 30, just 30.
Oh, okay. In which case, yes. So you can do 60 feet around, but you are moving at half speed, unless you aren't. If you are running, you can make me an acrobatics check to not fall off the bridge.
I think I'm gonna be running.
Uh-huh.
And I believe in my acrobatics. Now that I say that. Oh, it's 19.
19. Yeah, Julio, you manage to... One of the boards breaks under your feet as you go, but you manage to keep your feet and keep going.
Nice. And as I'm dashing, I am on the way throwing the end of my rope that I have in my inventory out. Yes. And what I want to use my real action on is find a rock or a tree around to fasten the rope so that when the bridge fails, the guys can hold on to the rope.
There are supports sticking out of the ground at each end, like large wooden posts that the bridge is sort of tied onto. They are sturdy. That's not the
Yeah,
problem.
I'll do one
So
of
you
those
could
then.
just, as soon as you get there, you basically do a couple of loops around it and you're good.
Yeah. Yep. That's what I'm gonna do so that if anything happens to the bridge, they are in reach for the rope.
Boys have a rope that they could reach out for. Very well. The Treewardens are going to basically catch up with you with their turn. They are within sort of 5-10 feet of you. And I will actually have, rather than roll 15 attacks twice, I'm going to have Kingsley and Bron make dex saves.
Okay.
15 attacks twice. I don't like that.
Better than my initiative. We'll take it. 21.
I got a flat 10, which is not bad because I rolled 5.
Very well.
Oh, wait a minute.
A moment.
I can do a thing.
Do a thing.
Yes. When I or another creature within 30 feet of me make an ability check or saving throw, I can use your reaction to add +4 to the roll. So 14?
Oh,
14.
nice.
Using your reaction. Yeah. Kingsley, you managed to avoid basically all of the shot, everything that's coming at you. And Bron manages... I'm imagining... What ability did you use to sort of crank that up?
Flash of Genius.
Ah, okay. Can you describe
nice.
how this helps?
That's a real good question, because I
There's
just thought of it.
A couple of stabs of slashes of scimitars, several blowpipe darts like winging their way towards you. What happens?
So Bron realizes that this is a very thin corridor, and as long as he's pretty low, a lot of them don't have a good angle to shoot at him. So and then all he has to do is dodge like a few swords in front of him. So it narrows down what he has to do a bit.
I love it. So Bron sort of uses the bodies of the other Tilia coming towards him to sort of shield himself as much as possible. So Bron, you still do take a bit of damage. It's 19 points actually. That allows you to this is non-standard combat. You are, if you're moving carefully, it counts as a free disengage sort of thing. It would be now, who's it first? Bron's turn first. And it is your turn. None of them have overtaken you. They are right at your heels at this point.
Okay.
But yeah.
I've got to resist the urge. I have the spell Shatter. And I can just destroy the bridge for everyone, but I won't.
I'm right there with you. I'm staring Shatter down. So...
If you read what Rob has written in chat, I mean, he's not wrong.
I think the bridge is supposed to break, you guys.
Yeah.
Do you know how, in video games, there's one wall that is slightly different texture?
Yeah.
You're like, oh, this is fucking extractable.
If this bridge was in a Tom Cruise movie, there's no way it is not being cut in half at some point at a dramatic moment.
All right.
For sure.
Okay. I have an idea. As a bonus action, I have to cast it on myself. That's unfortunate. But I might. As a bonus action, I'll cast Expeditious Retreat on myself, which means I can dash as a bonus action, which doesn't help me this turn. Oh,
you do also actually get the effects of the bonus action dash on the turn you cast it. So,
I just saw that. Yeah. So I can, I guess, move twice at half speed. So move my normal speed.
Yes.
Great. Cool. So then I will. Yeah, I'll do that on myself and just carefully walk.
You still got your action, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
You could use your action to
dash the last 10 feet.
No,
and actually
I'll
get
use
off
my
the
action
bridge.
to cast Grease.
Can you cast two
That
things
is
at
two
once?
spells in one
Oh,
round.
I did. They're leveled. Balls. Well,
You also have a huge ass scimitar. If you wanted to chop the bridge, you probably could in one swing.
Not this turn.
Kingsley just looking at you like... Kingsley,
Just a little.
the bird, just looking at...
I know. I've got ideas.
I'll hold my action.
Okay.
To swing if anybody tries to, any enemy tries to move past me. Kingsley, too bad. I said anyone.
Got him. Very well. So you are 10 feet away from the end of the bridge, holding your scimitar up got it. I'm presuming
Hammer.
you have also noticed that, yes, hammer. Yeah, all right. It's break the bridge with that. I mean, it could. I imagine anything hard enough. And there is a rope between your legs that I'm imagining that you're aware of.
Well, that's handy.
That Julio left there. Right, Kingsley.
Okay. So are you still standing on the edge of the bridge, Bron?
Yeah.
I'm 10 feet away from the end of it.
Okay, cool. No shatter for now. That's fine.
Double shatter.
What I do want to do though, so this might be a little shenanigansy, but I want to try it. So moving at half speed, Kingsley's going to just sort of carefully sort of step his way 15 feet further down the bridge and putting me 25 feet away. Now, if I take my bonus action to wing flap, I can take a running start jump of 19 feet up. And if I do, can I then take advantage of glide to coast the last 30 feet to the edge?
Yes. And
Yeah.
the
Nice.
reason you can is this is a bouncy rope bridge.
Ah,
Excellent.
yes.
Yeah, you'll all sort of see Kingsley sort of like starting to try to run until he hears like a crack from one of the floorboards. You see him just sort of shit and like takes a couple more steps, like kind of launches himself up with one massive like wing sort of woof, and then sort of like most chickens remembers he can't fly properly and kind of just awkwardly like desperately flapping like with an incredible amount of noise flaps the rest of the way across the bridge and sprawls onto the floor next to Julio.
Doesn't
before
get his
getting
feet
back to
under
his
him when
feet.
he lands. Just face first.
Yep.
Oh,
full-
so
full-
majestic. Oh.
Yeah.
Full tumble. Yeah, the jump looks incredible, and then as soon as he has to start holding that height as he moves, all pretense goes out the window. I do still have my action, but I don't want to commit Bron to the abyss.
So there is a thing written in the book that like if such a thing happens, there's a check to make to try and grab onto one side of the bridge to climb it like a ladder. Julio has
Yeah.
also left the rope there, which would also assist with that check. Just saying.
Why?
I mean, if you don't, Julio will.
Yeah, I think. Look, actually, yeah. Seeing how close he is to the edge, and with the rope and the bridge, and also, my man's wearing thunder gauntlets. He's got to have some half decent grip strength.
We're like, it's gonna be fine.
Holds on,
As,
rope explodes.
Explodes. Yeah.
Boom. Yeah, I think Kingsley's going to just look back towards and just, okay, sorry, Braun, and sort of like takes in like as big a breath as he can as his sort of like chest swells up. You see his crest kind of peaks up as well, as if he's like about to emit, like is about to screech, and lets out an incredible cock-a-doodle-doo.
Amazing.
Which I cannot replicate
No,
because
no.
people in my house are going to be going to bed soon. But as he does, a sort of, again, some of those sort of like golden sparkles appear to kind of, although there's nothing physically there, sort of outline the shape almost of like an orb of maybe sound or energy or something kind of hurl from his mouth, slamming into the center of the bridge just in front of where those guys are, and just an outwards boom, resonates from it.
Boom.
Yeah.
And yeah, the shockwave of this flutters the like the bridge actually sort of waves like a sine wave. Yeah, Bron, you are holding on. Make me a dex save.
The last one went so well.
Well, yeah, exactly. You'll be
Oh,
fine.
hey, this is not bad. It's 12 plus 5 to make 17.
Very nice, very nice. That is, in fact, more than you needed.
Yes.
Yeah, Bron, you are thrown flat as the bridge sort of wobbles, wavers, and eventually just shatters, interestingly, in half up the middle, and you grab onto one hand onto the rope Julio left behind, and the other onto a broken slat as you are just slam right into the wall of the cliff about 10 feet down. And you get a good old mouthful of rock. And go,
Rock, which, yes.
limestone. The epicure's
Sprinklers.
delight. Yeah, that is well done. You have, you can, looking back, you can see a sort of half dozen Tilia hanging on, sort of standing at the precipice on the other side, and 4 or 5 climbing back up the rope bridge on the far side. The rest have gone into the river 80 feet below. You can see a couple of bodies sort of being washed down the stream. One has already managed to swim up to the bank. Unfortunately for them, they managed to swim up to the far bank. It was that or drown, so they chose live. But yeah, Kingsley's damage. I don't know. Kingsley probably wasn't. I don't think Kingsley was aiming to kill people. Just to,
no, I think he put it. What is it? I specifically mentioned on the bridge in front of them. Yeah. I think he's. If someone dies from the fall, that's really unfortunate. But his ultimate goal was more just to remove their means of ingress.
Yeah, fair enough. Very well. You do that. You have successfully managed this. Julio, you hold Bron up. The two of you, you and Kingsley, sort of just pulling on the rope, holds Bron up. Bron gets up onto the ledge and has Bron looked down?
I think Bron's just happy to be so close to rocks. It's like, this is not the worst way. Yeah. It's okay. It's not the worst part of the day, I think.
Very well. Peeking through the treetops, the octahedron construction that sits atop the Temple of Naba's pyramid sparkles in the early afternoon sun. Beneath the low-hanging branches... no, what am I talking about? It's late evening. This is sunset. Beneath the low-hanging branches and lush greenery, the jungle gives way to the temple's entrance. The arched silver stone entrance is decorated with chipped, worn carvings. Inside, the temple is eerily silent, as if waiting for someone or something to step across the threshold and wake it from its slumber.
Now, we have to be careful. Remember the blue rose, they said there are traps and they would reset. So... we had to be very careful. Bron, you work with magic-y things, right?
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Have you had any experience with magical traps at all?
No.
Yeah,
none at all. I've got some rocks to throw down that might set off traps, maybe?
You know, I'm finding that rocks are useful in so many different occasions.
I have found that throughout my life as well, yes. Yes, but no, nothing specifically trap related, I'm afraid.
Well, that just means we'll have to be very careful.
Yeah.
Well, I can take a small look ahead if you also so desire. As he kind of I think just sort of, what's the word I'm looking for? I was about to say he whistles, but he has a beak, so I don't think he can. But I think in his best approximation of sort of a mimicking of another sort of bird whistle, holds up his hand, and once again, Reginald descends and lands on his outstretched talon, and just I can send this one ahead to scout some of the corridors if we're wanting to see what's in store for us.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Do we need to take a breather as Reginald does it?
That would be probably a good idea.
Certainly can.
My face hurts.
I'm presuming you've moved away from the cliff a bit. You've gone
yes.
The cliff and the temple are only sort of 500 feet away from each other, so you're very close to the temple now. Yeah. The Tilia have long since stopped throwing things and are looking for another way across. But looking up and down the gorge, you do not see any nearby bridges. So Excellent. You've got at least an hour before they could make their way across.
Yeah. If we want to rest briefly, we could.
Yeah, I think that'd be a good idea.
Excellent. And if we do that then, I think that he'll sort of wait for everyone to settle down. He'll take a seat and then he'll sort of blink a few times. And as he does, his what's the word I'm looking for? His iris will grow to cover his whole eye, painting them just flat gold. as his eyes suddenly appear on Reginald, as I'm going to use the perk of Find Familiar that lets you see through your familiar's vision.
Yep.
And I'm going to instruct Reginald to just kind of fly through the can't get more than 100 feet from me, but presuming we're sort of close to the entrance, just scouting out like the first couple of tunnels and getting like a general layout.
Yeah.
I'm not going to have him provoke anything that I think could be a trap, but just kind of looking to basic mapping.
He flutters in, like from where you are outside, you can see that there is a stairway up and a stairway down, basically. However, the stairway up has collapsed. The roof is caved in and there does not appear to be accessible. It doesn't look like it's a trap. It looks like age has worn this place down. However, downstairs, going down, Reginald is able to traverse quite easily, and it works quite well for a bat. The corridors are 10 feet wide and well cut stone all the way down. There's a couple of rotations of a sort of a spiral staircasey situation, and then he finds himself in a large room, about 80 feet long and 30 feet wide, with a sort of two-level effect with a little path running down the middle. No, it's not a path. It is a staircase, like three-step staircase, and it's sort of a riser and then a lower bit. And there are some stuff, but no people.
Cool. I do think that as I reach the top of the stairs, I think that once again with a little shimmer, Reginald would turn invisible. Because he can do that. So just because I don't know what's coming, but he'll sort of get a gauge on that large room, and I imagine that's probably about the limit that I'd be able to actually follow his vision, at which point I think everything would just start tinting gold. So he will command Reginald to come back, and after a couple more blinks, kind of refocus his eyes on the rest of the group, and just, all right, seems like a few straight corridors, a downward spiral staircase, and then an open room with lots of something in it. Difficult to make out. It didn't look alive, whatever it was, or at least not humanoid.
Okay.
Thank you. Well, that's good information. Oh, by the way, while we're resting, Julio will use his chef ability, special food, and procure little treats for companions, and say, "Here you go, Braun, Kingsley, and you little fella. Here you go. This is a food that I learned to make in my journeys. This is called a hash of brown. It is very delicious."
Incredible.
And if you're doing any like hit point regaining, you can do one extra 1d8 hit point for your rolls.
Awesome. And I don't know if this stacks, but I believe you and I both have Song of Rest.
I'm gonna rule it does not stack, but you can definitely.
Excellent. Well then, so it's if anyone rolls any hit die, I think I'm at full HP still, so I won't be.
Me too.
But if anyone is
Bron.
rolling any hit die, so Bron, if you roll at least one, you can add a D8 and a D6.
Wow.
So basically, we're like putting in Bron's
Harmonizing.
mouth little treats, like massaging his shoulders. Like, come on, you got it.
Yes.
I do
This
think
was
that
well worth the cliff.
Kingsley's lyre has definitely come out, and while we're sort of sitting and just sort of resting, is just not a specific song, but almost just absent-mindedly kind of plucking at it as he sort of half rests his eyes and just sort of soaks in the moment.
Is he composing the saga of what's happened so far?
I feel like I genuinely feel like Kingsley doesn't compose. I feel like he's probably a little swingy, I guess, with his performances. I feel like they're either kind of whatever or really good, and I feel like a lot of it is just because he has a vague idea of what he's doing, but he mostly just kind of gets up there and does it.
Fair
And
enough.
just sees what happens. I don't know that he's got the wherewithal and the foresight to actually plan out his songs.
Very well. So Bron has a nice hot stone massage. Julio makes some cookies, and scat. Kingsley's a jazz musician. Yeah, I pay that.
Absolutely.
Amazing. So that was an extra D8 and
And a
D6?
D6, yes.
Yeah,
On
I
top of a
definitely used them
D10.
both. 2 D10 for me.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Very well.
Chef Chefs and bards. Excellent.
Alrighty. Well then, let us skip forward an hour, and you head on into the temple. Night has fallen by this time. You sort of watch the sun go down as a companionable trio, probably in silence, or at least silence except for a lyrebird going. Stepping inside the temple, the interior swallows all the light. The smell of dust and clay fills the air. Like an omen, a sudden gust blows from within, and a series of sconces mounted on the walls begin to glow a dim red light. In front of you, a mosaic illustrates Elurans in ceremonial robes reaching for a large crimson stone embedded in the center of the artwork. Not hard to spot, but it is the stone, the one that you have, the Heart of Dako. Koala College of Swords Bard. Helsia.
So the scones light up, right? So we can see
Yes.
inside.
Yeah.
Sweet.
It's not
'Cause I
super
don't have
bright, but
dark vision.
it is glowy. Yeah. Triangular rays of red light radiating from the stone beam down on you. On the left, a barrier of collapsed rubble blocks an ascending ramp, and another ramp to the right of the ancient construction slopes down deeper into the temple.
Well,
Should we have a look at the mosaic? Does it look
You can.
interesting?
You may make history checks about this.
I'm gonna go ahead and assume the answer is no, but I'm going to ask anyway. Does this pertain to the history of my race, culture, or community?
Yes, it actually does. Both
excellent.
culture and community. Yes.
Well, then,
Nice.
Gallus will give me. Let me add double my proficiency bonus to this
Hell yeah.
because it's because of the
Expertise.
communal racial trait.
Nice.
I will actually leave the lads to do history. What I would like to focus on is investigating the mosaic and the corridor around it for us to see any damage. Like, did the lizard folk try to like destroy it or just do anything with it? I just want to see if there's any signs of like further tampering.
Then I think either nature or investigation.
I will do investigation.
Uh-huh.
It's only a 13 because I got my +8 and rolled a 5.
Rough.
Incredible.
There's no way I could use a tool for this, is there?
It
It seems pretty. I don't know. I can double my proficiency bonus if I use a tool, which is fun.
I don't think so, really.
It's not like a history tool, like what, an encyclopedia? Yeah, it seems silly. So I rolled a 4 and had +4, so that's an 8.
Right. With a 13, nothing jumps out particularly at you. It's pretty clear that the Elurans of the in the image are the temple's caretakers. The robes that some of them wear are not dissimilar to Mistress Escander's robes, the way she dressed when you were kids. Though she dressed significantly less. Like these are quite a bit more exotic or fancy, really.
Right.
Beyond that, there isn't a huge amount to know, and the one thing there is to know, you didn't roll high enough. Julio, how did you do?
I actually rolled pretty well. I rolled a 23.
23 to check for damage.
Yeah, damage, oldness, that kind of stuff.
Absolutely. Well, it is very old. And looking around, you would guess a 23 is pretty darn good. The staircase leading up, it probably would have collapsed anyway, but you feel like it might have been assisted, though by who or what you could not say. It is, however, not recent. The other thing is, this temple is overcome with greenery. Now, to a degree, you could expect that the jungle would do that, but because you rolled very high, in several places you can see things that really shouldn't have managed to get a foothold here. Trees planted in the cracks. Now, that can absolutely happen, but not with this level of profusion. It looks like someone planted them there with the intention that in a decade or two, their root systems would start to break the stone. To let the forest do it for these people. So again, assigning blame here would be very difficult, but...
All right. I will point out the staircase thing and say there could be something quite powerful at play here, whether a creature or something else. I cannot say, but we have to be on our guard.
Very well.
Didn't Stephen mention that there were going to be priests here?
He said there is a priest. I assume somewhere in the heart of the place. Remember when we heard Blue Rose talk about this? They mentioned a statue, a construct, in the place where the Heart of Dako would be. I assume once we find the creature, that is where the priest shall be.
Yeah.
Right. I wonder.
On their own?
I'd be surprised. I think as Kingsley is just going to very briefly move over to one of these trees that's growing up out of the crack, laying a taloned hand against its bark, and leaning in relatively close, we'll just... what is it? What is it? A group of people... Sorry. I'll say, how long ago did the most recent group of people move through here, friend? And I'm going to take advantage of Gallus's seed speech to talk to the plants and ask them. Now, thing is, it's like written into the ability and everything. They can't really communicate a lot because obviously they can't see and things like that. But I'm more just wondering whether this is like, maybe they might have sensed the vibrations of like a couple of like just a handful of people walking, or whether this was like a big group of people that would have made the ground rumble a lot as they moved or something like that.
The way it comes back to you is a sensation. It is a trembling. You can feel the sensation of perhaps a dozen sets of feet underneath your feet for a little minute. You are standing on one of its roots, and the root begins to shake like a dozen sets of of feet, and your hand touching its bark feels very briefly like the warmth of the sun, then it goes the cool of night, and then the warmth of the sun again.
Right, and it's now nighttime for us.
Yes.
Again. All right. Then I think as he sort of turns around towards the other two, we'll just... Well, our friend here says maybe a dozen or so pairs of feet came through here about 2 days ago.
That would line up with the expedition. I think I don't know if it is danger or personal distaste, but I do not think the lizard folk would just hang out here. I think the priest might just as well be alone here doing what he thinks has to be done. With how many lizard folk we've seen on our tail, I don't think it's likely that we'll see much more of them inside.
Yeah, I'm a bit more concerned. Did you say about a dozen? Were there that many of the Blue Rose?
No, but they had some Treewardens with them.
I dare say, as Julio mentioned, many of them probably would not have wanted to set foot inside. Chances are the 4 members of the party plus 1 or 2 guides, I think, would have roughly covered. Because it's half a dozen, right? You said.
I said a full dozen. You just
Oh,
said
a full dozen. In
going
that case,
past
yeah.
this tree. That's about how
Yeah.
many.
Then
Again,
so
this is a guesstimate from a tree.
yeah. Instead of plus one or two, I'll just say plus a handful of sort of guides and guards.
Also, Kingsley, what you just did here? Can you communicate with any plant like this?
As far as I'm aware, I haven't met a plant that, well, actually, no plant has managed to actually hold a conversation, but they've all tried.
Can I give you something to try? And
Certainly.
Julio goes into his little pocket where in a little leather pouch he keeps the winter blossom seed, and he carefully takes it out and extends the hand with the seed to Kingsley and say, see if you can sense or talk to this one.
I'm so glad you did that, because that was how I was going to end this when we got back and you planted it. That was what I wanted to try and do, but now I get to do it now. So I do think that Kingsley, if as you sort of hold that out, his eyes will light up a little, and he'll sort of like hold it up on his palm just in front of his face and just sort of like, hello, little one. We'll likely be planting you shortly. How's your trip been?
Do you touch it?
Yeah, I think he's holding it in his palm.
Yes. Make me a religion check.
Let's go.
Okay. Religion. I am somehow proficient in that. Let's go.
Let's go.
Rolled high. 22.
22. Okay. Kingsley, have you ever been to one of the other elemental planes?
I don't think Kingsley has.
Yeah, right. Okay.
I think he's interacted with something from beyond this plane, but he's not been anywhere like himself.
Oh my goodness, I love it so much. The words in your mind are booming.
What actually talks?
It is the voice of a child, a small child, but it is very loud. You can sense, you have a significant degree of magical affinity from a couple of different sources. So, yeah, you can sense divine magic coming off this thing. This is, yeah, it has, technically it is elemental magic, but it's mechanically celestial, and it is the magic of life and of creation itself, yeah, it's leaking off this thing as soon as it opens itself to you. If you had rolled below a 20, you would have been blinded temporarily. It's very, very bright, and it says, "It's good that you're helping Father's friend. I look forward to the soil here. It's nice."
That's cute.
Yeah,
It's-
I think that
And you're
like
like,
there's a
"Ugh."
yeah, there's definitely a real like full like head jolt backwards, and like he holds his arm, I think like catches his arm and like holds it mostly still so as to not drop the seed, but you do fully see his head like rock back like he was hit with something, and his eyes go wide for a second before like as he sort of like seems to sort of come back to himself, as much as a beak can, like a grin sort of like steadily grows across his face, and he'll just kind of like, well, that is the most well-spoken seed I have ever spoken to. And he'll sort of hold it out and just, it says it's grateful that we're helping its father's friend, and that it looks forward to the soil here. It says it seems nice.
Oh, thank you. That's great.
They'll
All
hand
right.
the seed back.
Well, Julio will carefully tuck it back in, saying, thank you, White.
It's a
I
seed.
think
It likes it
Kingsley's
where
like-
it's warm, dark, and a little moist. Yeah.
You know the thing where like if you breathe in too much, either when it's like really cold outside or right after you've brushed your teeth, you get that rush of like really cold fresh that makes you sort of like double take. You can see, I think Kingsley's standing there. It's very much like that, like eyes still a bit wide, kind of like letting a breath out, like feathers are probably a bit ruffled as he's just kind of. That was something.
You have tasted magic like this before, Kingsley.
Wow,
But not
that's
quite the same flavor.
No, incredible. That felt divine.
What was it? What? It's not a rock, but it's cool.
No eating.
I think. Well, it's the. I'm not exactly sure. What is that a seed of? As he looks towards Julio.
Oh, it's a winter blossom seed. So, I mean, the full story will take a long time. I don't think we have that much. But what I can say is this is from a life plane, and we had to ask the father of this seed for essentially its life to save my friend's mother from a horrible curse. We had to fight energies from the death plane, and well, the life plane helped us with this. There are more of these seeds in Humblewood, and if you guys ever visit, I would love to show you where I've planted them and the great tree of Alderheart. But this one we wanted to plant here.
Wow.
So many cool adventures.
Yeah.
Absolutely take you up on that. I'd love to talk to them. Maybe just one at a time. As he kind of like pokes a claw into his ear, like.
Wow.
It was loud little seedling. Oh. All right. Well.
Very well.
Onwards.
Heading down into the temple. You now, as you now are, you round a corner and find a grand room constructed in yellow stone. The first third is a raised platform which descends a set of steps to the main floor. The space is 50 feet wide, and the lower area is 50 feet across and 30 feet wide. On the far end is a door. On either side of the room's entrance are 4 alcoves carved into the wall, 2 on the left and 2 on the right. And each alcove contains a mostly intact statue. A vortex, a mountain, a flame, and a wave. At the top of the steps down into the main area are a quartet of plinths, each made of a different material. Hey, Absalom Dak. Yes, 18 degrees would be lovely. I'd take 28, to be honest. That would be fine. Yeah, I did Google it. 38 is 104. Sorry, is 100.4 degrees Fahrenheit, which is what it currently is here. Yeah. 8 degrees where Lorite is, and Daria is about 20 below that. So yes, that is where you are.
Can you repeat the vortex, mountain, wave, and
Flame.
Oh, flame.
So it's the 4 elements.
Yes. There canonically in this world is 6, but yes, I considered adding 2
yeah.
more, but I decided not to.
And there's also 4 empty plinths in the
Yes.
time to fifth element this shit?
Yeah, exactly. You just, and it's Julio is the 5th. The
Julio in a
plinths-
little like bikini,
orange,
like
orange
the
bikini.
girls.
Yeah.
chicken. Good.
Yes, that's prawn. That's rock. Good.
Julio holding a seat, multipass.
Julio switch gear multipass. The pedestals are one is a dark stone. The other is a very dark. It's sort of like a black stone, a black glass. One is a dark grey, One is light, almost white and speckled with little spots, and the other is sort of pink and porous.
Sounds like coral.
So one
So
that
Julio would
is
recognize it as coral. Yeah.
yeah. So one that is coral. Can Julio just like try to dapple some water on it and see if it reacts in any way?
It doesn't.
Actually, wait. Well, yeah, sure. I'll do
He
that.
wipes
But
some sweat off his brow with a handkerchief and squeezes it out. Yeah.
no, but Julio would actually observe the room with his elemental eye. He will like open it up and just like see if there's anything.
Oh, this is the first time Bron is going to be like, ooh, that's cool.
Actually, yeah, neither of us have seen it
No.
because it happened in the tent.
Is it
It
another
flashed
magical
very
rock?
briefly when Kingsley held the seed, actually. You got a pulse. But yeah, taking off your... when did you lose your eye?
I think Julio actually lost his eye pretty early in his pirating career.
Right.
So
So he had two eyes when they knew him, though.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
So yeah, Julio takes off his eye patch, and the guys see that... Is there an injury?
Magic rock.
There's not much of an injury anymore because like it's covered with fur, but the eye itself is this like vibrant emerald green, just without any pupil, just constantly like just a little bit of green shine over there.
Yeah. Yeah, looking around the room with your elemental eye, there is no elemental magic in here. Like, none. Zip.
There's no elemental magic here, guys. I think this is just either purely mechanical or divine.
That's fun. Just to test a theory, just in case, I'm going to walk up to the back door anyway and just see if it opens.
So the door on the far side of the room? Okay.
Just to like it, I'm sure it's going to be locked and that this will unlock it, but just in case, it's always good to test
For
that theory.
clarity, there is no door. It is just an archway with a corridor leading off to the right.
Oh. Well, strange. Can I examine it to see if there was a door? Like if this is the unlocked version, if
Yes.
that makes sense.
Would you go to it, or are you standing next to the plinths? Where are you?
I assume I would walk up to it. Because
Very
I
well.
can't see
Make
from
me
there.
a dexterity saving throw.
I was gonna say, I'm happy to say that this comes too late, but I do think that if he notices Bron walking away, he'll be like, Bron, keep an eye out for trap! And then
That's
something
alright.
happens.
Yes, I am so glad I am a Volbin. So I got 12 but plus 5, so 17.
Ooh. 4d8.
Oh well.
Uh-oh.
You did pass. This is halved. That's
Okay.
15. 20. 20 piercing damage. Halved. As the floor gives way, you get to the bottom of the stairs, take one step out, and the floor just gives way underneath you. You manage to you manage to like spin in the air and grab onto the side, but your legs still bang into some nasty jagged. It's not spikes. It's actually like dozens of shards of broken glass sticking out of the hole of all the walls of the hole.
Are you okay?
There's about 5 square feet of floor just give way underneath you.
I'm fine. It's going to crawl back on. Yes, I have crawled more today.
Didn't even get a mouthful of sand or dirt on your. So regaining your
Rocks.
footing, yeah.
Not sand. He's not.
Well, sand
he's not a
is very
barbarian.
small rocks.
No texture.
It does not, however, look from where you are like there was ever a door in there. It looks like it was just designed as an archway, and it continues on.
Strange. What are the plinths for then?
I do think there'll be a sigh from the top of the stairs and just, okay, perhaps let's be more careful for traps. Bron, you all right? And as he says that, I'm actually going to sort of infuse that as he finishes that word and sort of twirls a hand, and a little I think like a tiny little bird made out of golden motes and sort of sparks will just out from his hand towards Bron and splash into his chest as I'm going to healing word to give you 7 of those 10 hit points back.
Siri girl, no.
That is, yes, thank you. I agree. More caution. I'm going to put my armor on.
Yep.
Probably wise.
Are these plinths movable? Because I know
The
that there are
plinths
little coats.
are very freaking heavy.
Very
The coral one isn't super heavy, but the slate one is extremely heavy, to the tune of half a ton. Like, yeah.
Just to clarify, the plinths are up, or are they on the lower
The
part?
plinths are on the upper part.
Okay,
and
cool.
then there are 4 alcoves next to the door, each one containing a small statue.
I'm guessing
our door, not
we're going to
the- yes.
move the statues onto the plinths.
Yeah.
I think that after he says that, but before he goes to actually move any of them, I do think that he'll sort of duck his head a little and like look Julio in the face with his eye patch up, sort of noticing the eye, and just had a little accident.
Yeah, a couple.
Right. Well, it's a
I'll tell
beautiful
you guys
replacement.
Thank you. That's again work of the Alder Heart. Yeah, it's a very powerful tree.
So, that's magic.
Yes.
Quite the upgrade. As he'll sort of turn and I think go to fetch one of the statues. I think from the original description it sounded like it was just like a really nice looking piece of emerald, and he was like, "Wow, that's tasteful. That's nice." And then it's magic.
No, it glows slightly.
Oh, excellent. I will just go with that he had not noticed it until he got actually in Julio's face. Yeah. Well, if we have to move the statues.
Let's try with one and see if that kills us.
All right. Well, look back, and I think going for what he feels is potentially the most obvious, we'll fetch the little mountain statue and put it on the slate grey pedestal.
Uh-huh. It fits very well. Like, all of them have a circular groove in the top, but it's the same size. Any one of them could fit in any one of them. But yeah, it fits in very neatly, and yeah.
All right. Well, I didn't explode.
No one's dead yet. Touch wood. Oh, that's the one thing
I'll
we don't
take
have
the
yet.
I'll take the wave one and put on the coral.
Yes. I guess I'll pick up the vortex one and go over to the dark gray.
It was the white one, right? Or the very light one with the speckles?
So we've got
So,
a
yeah.
vortex and a wave.
Or I think the vortex and the flame are still
flame,
left.
sorry,
And I
yes.
think the 2 plinths, there's like one that looks like obsidian, kind of, and then one that looks like white stone with speckles. And I'm guessing obsidian is fire.
The white stone with speckles, I've just googled it actually. It's more like clear crystal with speckles.
Oh, quartz
It's
kind of something.
Opal.
Opal. Nice.
Nice.
Although you can get opal that is sort of like a purpley green as well. But
Get all sorts of opal.
it's
So,
very expensive as well. I'm going to close that tab in case Karen gets ideas.
I think Bron is going to turn to the two and be like, so vortex, we go dark gray or like crystal sparkles?
Well,
Because dark gray could be smoke, but it could also be like the absence of light.
The dark grey
The
one,
lighter one
the
with-
dark grey one was slate, which was the mountain one that Kingsley's already used.
so the other one's the glassy one.
Yeah, black.
so it's
glass.
like it's
Yeah.
black
Oh,
glass.
well,
yeah.
the vortex black glass. It's a black glass. Is it? Yeah.
Well, I think flame to the black glass and vortex to the white with
Oh.
speckles, right?
Yep.
Because I think the vortex is meant to be like elemental air, and so I'm assuming that's like
Not
what
like
is it?
a
Like
black hole.
white and sort of light and stuff. And then I'm thinking the fire, because I don't know necessarily that Kingsley's smart enough to know this, but obsidian's igneous, so
Obsidian is volcanic glass.
forged of
And I think
flame
there are
and all
glass
that.
blowers in this world, so we could
Yeah.
like connect glass
Yeah.
to fire.
It's also kind of reliant on you guys being smart as well. Like, yeah.
Yep.
You successfully align all four. Well, you put all four down. The Angel
Ooh.
Mythos is raiding a big raid. Angel Mythos, thank you very
Welcome.
much for the raid, you bloody champions. Guys, welcome. So, yes, welcome. I am Josh the Pirate. These are some of my lovely players. We are playing some Humblewood. This is a short adventure. We are running my version of the Heart of Dako. Relying on us to be smart, we're screwed. Don't worry, Hogan. They did figure it out. Yes, we have just had a puzzle trap room, and the guys did excellently figuring it all out. And guys, what were you doing? Angel Michelle, thank you very for the follow, you bloody champion. Avast, matey, you wee scallywag. Yes. Oh, thank you very much, Ardana. I was about to do that myself. What were you guys doing? You were having some just chatting. What were you doing? Tell us about it. Tell us, how was your stream? Throw your favorite raid emotes up in chat, guys. We have our terrifying Arthur Goose raids. So this is a short adventure in my Humblewood world. Julio Switchgear is an ongoing major character in it, and we're having a sort of a backstory episode a little bit, finding out a little bit more about where they came from, where they're going, what we're doing. So we shall crack on with it, but thank you so much for joining us. We were doing a subathon for some Final Fantasy, some art, and some fan fiction. Amazing. Sounds great. Thank you very much for joining us, you bloody champion. Yeah, guys, if you fancy it, smash the follow button. It's lovely to have you all here, and we will continue on with the story. The gang is adventuring through the jungle and the Temple of Naba, the Amaranthine of the Ellerin people, the cat folk of this setting. Griffin, thank you very much for the follow as well, you bloody champion. We are, I think, 3 follows away from 800, and if we get there, everybody in all of our streams gets inspiration, which is a very handy thing to have in D&D. So if anybody smashes that follow button, it'll be bloody champions of them. Halura, Laura, or something like that. Thank you very much as well, you bloody champion. Good on you, matey. Avast and such. And we shall continue onwards. 2 more to go, boys and girls. All right. So. Yes, as you plonk the last down, I feel like the vortex goes down onto the opal plinth, and you hear a click, and the floor, almost all of them, sink down. And you find a single pathway through that would have required you to walk like a big snake pattern across the floor to get to the far side. A very, very few, about 1/5 of the total floor area of this room was supported. So, Bron got unlucky. And Kingsley has just been redeemed an inspiration by Ardana.
Why,
very much,
thank you.
Ardana. Ardana's dropping all of them, just in case. All right. Sure.
Amazing.
1 for Bron, 1 for
Excellent,
Kingsley.
thank
I think Bron is going to be just like, ooh, look at the mechanism. Ooh, how does this work?
Yeah.
And like pushing on the statues, being like,
Actually,
a
Bron,
professional, like,
looking at it, it's not mechanical. They have a subtle red glow underneath all of them. It is sort of mechanical, but it's magical mechanical.
just up my alley. I would say it might not be elemental magic, but there is like mechanical magic going on here. Look.
Delicious.
It is glowing.
Yeah.
Well, let's hope that that's the only trap that we'll encounter today. I have a feeling the talk with the priest will not go very smoothly, so we have to be ready.
What?
What? No way.
All right, we'll just run back to this room and then remove the statues.
I do, out of character, I love a good bit of Magitech. Greatly appreciated.
Yes. Alrighty. Well, then we go to the next bit, and Josh finds the appropriate soundscape for it. So, where are they? The Temple of Naba. There we are. So they once disarmed, the party may cross the room unhindered. Reaching the far side, the exit leads through a short corridor with a platform at the far end. A red light glows from underneath it, and it sits in a tube just wide enough for it to fit, leading down. What do you do? Macagical, if you will. Yeah. Yeah, there is a floating platform. The platform itself is made of stone, and it seems to sort of just gently hover. Like, just there's a little bobbing.
Ron's gonna poke it.
It bobs even more so, like something floating on a pond.
Julio will gingerly step on it, ready to jump off it if it.
It immediately
Tries to do
begins
his
slowly
thing.
descending.
Oh, quick, jump on!
If Julio immediately jumps right back off again, it immediately comes right back up.
Oh, don't jump on.
Oh. No, I think we should jump on. This is like an elevator. I mean,
I don't know what that is.
Platform that takes us down in a safe
The
fashion.
older heart does actually have lifts, so yeah.
All right, we have lifts like that in the huge tree where I live. I just remembered that.
Is this you calling up from the slowly descending platform?
It's fine. I've done one of these before. There's normally rope.
Okay.
Jump in. The
Doesn't-
water's fine.
Bron doesn't need telling twice. Bron is I mean, you're not going down fast. This is you're going down that sort of speed. It's not fast.
And if Bron hops on, it doesn't appear to be dropping any faster, does it?
No.
Excellent. I think there was part of part of me that was worried that it was gonna be sort of dependent on the weight placed on it, and it was gonna, if a third person stepped on it, was gonna drop us. But I do think that Kingsley will hesitate for a moment, but then once again with an extremely ungraceful flap of his wings, kind of drop the few feet to where the platform is now at, and then sort of like right himself and try to just dust his feathers off and pretend nothing happened as the elevator continues.
Very well. The humming ends as the stone slab ferries you down, comes to a rest at an entrance to a 40-foot by 40-foot room. You go down about probably 70, 80 feet. The walls and floor are made from smooth stone, similar to the room above. It's still this sort of sandy yellow color, except for a jeweled map carved into the floor. An exit opposite the entrance leads to another lift that connects further down, one presumes. And I have a picture of the room for you to see, so that you can have a look at what you're actually dealing with here. So I shall pop
Most
that up on the
excellent.
overlay. And I could also pop it in the Discord chat if you like, so you guys can get a little bit of a bigger look at it.
see it.
It's not very big on the screen. Room 2. Boom. There you go.
Whilst this is going up, I think Bron is going to be like, guys, watch out. There might be traps.
You know?
Thank you, Bron. Very timely.
Oh, okay. So are these glowing things, are they sort of set into the floor?
They are.
Hmm.
It does not require a huge amount of geographic knowledge to know that you are looking at a map of the Tangle Wilds.
Hmm.
I said that is the outline, and Julio, if the boys might not know that, Julio would. Julio would have seen charts and maps. That would not be
Julio has navigation
massively-
tools
Yeah.
as well.
So there might be traps. I'm going to go first, because I can go back very quickly.
Right.
Is what I'm going to say to everyone, and I'm going to very gingerly step out of the lift.
Yep. Absolutely nothing happens.
Hooray! It's safe, guys.
The placement of
Two more
these
steps,
dots.
falls down holes.
The placement of these dots, of these flaming bits, is that placement of specific locations in the?
Make
in
me
the
a survival check.
Would I be able to use my navigation tools to help me with this?
Yes, you
My
would have advantage.
proficiency?
There are 4 gemstones embedded into the map. 2 are glowing red, 1 glows blue, and the other faintly flickers with a red light.
Okay. First one was good. Oh, okay. The second one like teetered on natural 20, but didn't. It's a 17 plus 2, so that's a 19.
19's pretty darn good. The flickering gemstone marks the location of the temple you are currently in. The other 3 are temples, are presumably other temples. You know of the nearest one beyond this one. It is a good 5-day journey through the forest. So it would not be a massive reach, given what you know of the story around this place, to assume that the other 2 are also temples to, not necessarily Naba, but her paladins that saved the Tangle Wilds by sacrificing themselves. Yes.
And the fact that those are not flickering but like steadily glowing means that
Well,
those,
they are different colors. One of them is a different color to the others. Yes.
So,
I'm not
do you relay
certain.
this information?
Oh, yeah.
Yes, Julio will point it out and say the fact that this one is flickering, to me suggests that this is like the magic slowly losing its grasp, and the one that is gray, the one that is different from others, I don't want to say much, but I feel like that would mean that it is inert.
So this
there's
temple is not the grey one.
No, you are to look at. You are in the grey one.
We're in the grey one.
That's
I
the
thought
flickering
that's
one.
the
There is
flickering.
one that
And the
glows
blue
and-
one is glowing, but it's a different color.
Yeah.
How strange. Why red?
Yeah.
I wonder.
Well, I mean, the stone is red.
Bron would also
Right.
recognize that all of the magitech in here has been red magic. So red. A fair inference would be that the red magic is good in this instance.
Yeah, the red ones
flick-
are the healthy ones.
The flickering, it's trying to flicker red when it is flickering. So blue is.
Blue then.
I wonder whether
someone-
this is an indicator of whether the temples have their hearts, I suppose.
So,
I mean,
but the grey for no heart, red for heart, blue for.
Perhaps it's been replaced or corrupted in some way. Hard to say. But I'm
Julio
guessing
will-
this one's flickering because we've got the stone here. It's just not
True.
in the.
Julio will point do like little notes on his map where the places are for the
Yep.
future, so that we have like a sort of guide if we need to for the future.
Very well. Did someone say they were checking for traps in an actual sort of proactive way rather than just walking around?
Once Bron has stepped in, he's like, it's fine.
Okay, I will definitely check the traps. That's a roguish thing to do.
Very well. Investigation check, please.
Yeah.
Ooh, that is a hearty 26.
Julio, you having a bit of a feel around, looking around at it, near the blue gem, which everybody sort of has been focused on a little bit, you find some slime on the floor, like a residue. Just sort of tracing your finger around it. I'm going to say, can you give me a dex save?
Oh fuck! I think I know.
Nobody looks up.
My dex is pretty good though.
Yeah.
Dex save 21.
Yeah, you avoid taking any damage from the acidic slime that you see. However, your skin barely touches it, and as it does, you get a flicker in your mind's eye. You basically see the world through another's eyes, and you look. Whoever you are seeing the eyes through, it's like looking down at the room, and looking down at your back.
I hate that. Julio jumps back and looks up immediately.
And Julio, just as you dash and duck aside, a large green slime lands right where you were. And I will get you to roll initiative, please.
Oh no. I'm just
Julio,
I hate that.
I will give you, because you did very well with your investigation, I will tell you that the Fizzars mucked around with slimes, and they were all about psychic energy.
That's pretty cool.
That's
Hate it,
all
though.
the damage I do.
Yeah.
Well, actually, no, that's a lie. It's all the damage I do without immediately alerting everyone in a 1 mile radius.
Right.
Important distinction. Mine initiative is 18.
18 for Julio.
Mine's 14.
Bron gets a 14.
13.
And a
Following the
13
pattern.
for Kingsley.
Same order.
Splendid.
Same
Yeah,
order.
same order. Let us see how the slimes did. Yes, I said slimes, plural.
Oh dear.
like
The
that.
slimes got a 14, actually. Which means they go after Bron, but before Kingsley. I rolled a 16.
Oh boy.
But they have a very, very low dex. And look, I think we will have a short breaklet there because we've been going for about an hour and a half. Be back very, very shortly. Thank you so much for hanging out with us. Thank you very much for that massive raid, Angel Mythos. We appreciate the absolute heck out of it. We will be back in 5 to 10 minutes to have this little bit of a combat. In fact, I shall give you a bit of the sneaky combat now, so you can hear what that's going to sound like as this one slime slams down and a little bit of a green splash comes off it. More rise up. So from within the cracks of the floor, one rises up next to Bron and another next to Kingsley. And it's very much like, you know those, you see something like videos of water going down a drain? It's that in reverse. It very much sort of flows up at you. And you get this sort of green tendril growing out of the floor as two more drop down from the ceiling in between you all. There you are outnumbered, and we shall have a short little break. Let's say goodbye, everybody.
Bye.
See ya.
Vast ahoy and g'day, mateys. We be back for some more Humblewood. Thank you for sticking around with us. And Sergeant, oh, this was hard. Euralia? Or Urea? Euralea. Sergeant Euralea, thank you very much for the follow, you bloody champion. Avast, matey, you wee scallywag. I got
No,
that. I
you're
got
a
there in the
layer.
end. You're a layer, and so's your mum. I'm Your mum's great. It's wrong what I say about her.
I mean, by definition.
Guys, yeah, we are just having a bit of combat. The gang has just encountered a large group of slimes, of fizzy slimes, actually. These are called fizzar slimes.
Fizzy slimes.
Yes, they are slimes
Soda
created by the
stream
Order of
slimes,
Fizzars. Yeah, the worst kind.
Delicious.
Carbonated slime.
Too much sugar.
We have just rolled initiative. Julio just managed to dodge out of the way of one of them sneak attacking him. No one sneak attacks the sneak attacker, and it's Julio to go first. Soda Slam.
Yeah. Okay, so these things, I am afraid to touch and therefore melee attack, but I will check it. I will give it a good little checkerino. I will get close to the one that tried to attack me and try to shank it with my Slod Slayer.
Hell yeah. Fizzy slime sounds like a sentient Mountain Dew syrup. Yeah. Non-Newtonian fizzy ooze. Yes, all of these things.
I could probably homebrew that.
Yeah.
All right. Does a 16 hit?
A 16 does indeed hit.
Nice. I mean, yeah, it's slime.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay, sweet.
I'm going to tell you for free that its AC is 8.
Yeah, that's
Baja
great.
Blast slime, yes.
Baja Blast. So my awesome magical Slod Slayer weapon gives us 9 plus 8 plus how much?
Greater Baja Blast is my favorite spell.
Oh, okay. So it's a 17 damage.
17 damage.
Yes.
Now, the Slod Slayer, remind me, is a rapier?
It is a rapier and it is magical, so that's... I don't know if that
It does.
helps in any way.
Is it magical, or is it just it's slightly infused with slard slime?
At this point, I don't remember. I think it became magical. I didn't get any like pluses to it. It just became magical as
right,
far
no,
as I
okay,
remember.
then it became magical. Yeah, I was like, I couldn't remember if it added damage or
It doesn't
became
have any
magic.
special damage. It's
Alright.
just magical weapon.
It's just magic. Yeah, cool. In which case, then yeah, it takes the damage. And you say slashing, you say. Excellent. So the slime.
Oh, it's a piercing damage. I think.
Oh, it's piercing damage.
because
in
it's a rapier.
Yes, yeah. Well, it all depends on how you use it, isn't it? Do you stab it or are you slashing at it?
I would probably try to slash it because a stab in a jelly probably doesn't do much damage.
That's fair. You divide this thing neatly in twain, and it squeals, and as your blade passes through it, you get two individual images in your head of it looking at itself. As you separate it, and the two one becomes two little blobby boys, and you are now looking at two smaller but equally angry slimes. And
Great.
Oh no.
as you have separated them.
In that case, I will use my bonus action for an attack with Susan's variable dagger,
Hell yeah.
set to radiant.
Very nice.
Yes. I pushed the button for radiant. Beep, boop, boop, beep, boop.
Push the big red button.
Okay, that's a horrendous roll, but since DC is 8, I still hit. Because
Yeah.
it's 5 plus.
I think you have to
plus
roll
something.
one to miss.
Yeah.
Cool.
Okay. This
Which
is
one are you
not,
aiming at? Left or
the
right?
one on the right.
The little one. Mm-hmm.
This is not a sneak, but it's 6 radiant.
Very well. Yes, 6 more radiant damage doesn't kill it. Oh, that was just Josh's little blue screen very briefly there. One of them is now very badly hurt. It squeals, and these things are actually let me just have a quick look. Oh, I can even do a picture. You want to see a picture?
A bit of a picture.
Because it's on the correct side of the thing to see. Window capture up. There you go. There he is. Boop. There. That little boy. That's what they look like. So it's sort of greeny, bluey, and very globular and and yeah, that's him
nice.
there. And yeah, he squeals. There is a little as you stab it. That's the closest my vocal cords are capable of coming to replicating the noise. And yeah, the point where you jab it glows with a sort of yellowish light, and the whole thing crackles with sort of yellow lightning. And as you remove the blade, it continues crackling like it's being shocked and sparked by this damage.
Ooh. Nice.
Yeah.
Because I am a swashbuckler, I would also jump backwards as far as my movement can take me without triggering attacks of opportunity.
You basically have to. You cannot leave the room, but you can get about 15 feet away from any one of them.
That's good.
Without leaving the room. You could go onto one of the elevator platforms, you know what they do. But yeah, each door has an elevator platform in it, basically. Cool. In which case, it is Bron's turn.
Bron is gonna see this split and be like, oh yeah, and gonna cast Mirror Image.
Love it.
Ron, you are not gonna believe this.
How many people are there going to be in this room in a minute? It's like, and one Julio. They're like, ah!
And all of them cast Shatter.
So there are 3 illusions of me plus the real me.
Right. Love it.
Yes, great. So, and then that's my action. For my bonus action, I'm going to use part of my armor to give myself 7 temp hit points.
Very well. Very well.
And
How does this look? Describe it. Paint me a word picture of this spell taking effect. How do you cast it?
Oh, the spell? The mirror image? Cool. So he gets out his, like, smith tools and kind of, like, tweaks some parts of his armor and just, like, boing, boing.
And it just sort of
Just
ping off.
copies of him. Yeah, like, it's magic that it creates this stuff. But yeah, so he's tweaking the magic to do it. But yeah, it's sort of magical, like spring-loaded
Oh, yes.
copies of him.
And it appears fully formed. Is there a noise as it comes off, like an inflation?
Boing.
Not boing.
Giant inflatable bronze leap off and begin
Doing this.
Nice.
wacky waving inflatable arm flailing tube men around it. Yep, cool. Alrighty, that's Bron's turn. It's now the slimes. There are now 6 of them in the room, and the 2 little ones that Julio cut up, the one that tried to jump on him in the first place, are going to attack him. They're going to sort of ooze towards you, and it's like when you see water rolling down a hill, it's very much that, but in reverse. It's a blip, 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 blip across the floor towards you. Wow. I got an 18 and a 19 plus 6. So, that's quite a lot. That's 2 solid hits, I believe.
Yep.
So, Julio, you are going to take some bludgeoning damage.
Okay.
A grand total of 4 plus a further... plus another 4.
I do want to half one of them.
Oh,
with
I apologize. Alrighty, the first or second?
The first one.
Okay. So the first one was 6, and then a some psychic as well. A further, so 10 all up. So you can half that. And then the second one is actually. Why am I rolling those again? 7, 9, 11 plus 12.
Ooh. Okay. Minus 12.
Yeah, I got 11 on the bludgeoning, but only 1 for the psychic. So, yes, that was a good hit from those 2. Then, I'm just going to say 2 of them go for each of you. So Kingsley is going to cop a pair as well. That was not as good. One of them missed, but one of them definitely, a 24. Hopefully.
Are you sure the other one missed?
Pretty confident a 9 wouldn't hit you.
Okay, it's close, but it does miss.
Jolly
Kingsley's
good.
only got 11 AC. So.
Oof.
Noted. Stacks on the squishy bard. Right. That is 5, 9 bludgeoning damage. A further 7 psychic, so 16 all up.
Okay. I think there's like a high pitch sort of like as it hits him, and he realizes that it has left some sort of slimy residue on his clothes, which he is deeply offended by.
And to attack Bron, I got a 21 and a 6.
Great, cool. So the 6 is not going to hit, but the 21 will.
Except it won't. Or will it?
No, it's
Mirror
gonna hit
image.
that. Oh, mirror image. Oh, goodness. Yes, I forget. So, this is fun. I have to roll higher than a 6 on a d20 for it to attack one of my
I think I
targets.
have to roll higher than a 6. I think I have to
okay.
be the one who rolls it. I got a 19.
Cool, okay, so then it misses me and hits a duplicate.
Yeah. So there's only 3 bronze in the room now, not 4. And next time it is a 30% chance to hit. Cool, great. That's their turn. Kingsley.
Okay, I do think sort of like panicking and starting to back up a little bit, looking towards the others. How attached are we to stealth?
I think at this point we're pretty sure they know.
Okay, how many of these could I catch in a 10-foot cube?
Let's say 3 of them, at least. Let's say 3.
Excellent.
One of
Then
the...
I think,
definitely one of the ones that Julio's already hurt, and the 2 that who are attacking you.
Awesome. Then I think you'll see sort of like his feathers begin to sort of like ruffle up as he stands a bit taller. He shakes a little and that gold dust sort of seems to pour off. As I am first going to use my bonus action to burn one of my bardic inspiration to give everybody 8 temp hit points.
Nice.
To do mantle of... Is that what
Inspiration?
it's called? Mantle of Inspiration, that's the one. And also, if either of you want, you may use... Actually, you've already used yours, but Bron, if you want to back out of melee, you can immediately use your reaction to run away, if you'd like.
Hey, Jess.
Hello.
Good to see you, my dear. Big old raid, it was, yes.
And then
Tony.
I think I don't think there's specific words, but just opens his mouth and lets out an incredibly loud shriek, audible up to 300 feet away, filled with the rage of someone whose garments were just soiled by a slime, as he is going to cast Thunderwave on all of those slimes and attempt to get them away. So, Constitution saving throws from those three, please.
Con saves from the slimes.
Yep, and I am casting this at a 2nd level.
Green is the injured one. Unless a 12 succeeds, no.
Nope, save DC was 16.
Yeah.
So all three of them are going to take...
It was a 12, a 10, and an 8. With their +2.
Middling rolls. All three of them are going to take 16 thunder damage and be pushed 10 feet away from me.
Ooh!
Nice.
One of the ones Julio is fighting dies.
Excellent. As he is going to immediately just kind of backpedal away from them.
Yeah, so, yeah, the two that are fighting Bron, Kingsley, get sort of pushed towards Bron, really. Queen Bench, thank you very much for the sub, you bloody champion. And guys, we are one follower away from 800, the tasty, tasty 800. And I do allow it to stack on that instant as well. So guys can have true sneaky ones. But I also get them. So, yes, that. And those two take 16 points of bludgeoning damage.
Yeah. As is just almost like a wave of force just kind of like cones out from his mouth as he seems to also sort of take the backlash from it to backpedal and scramble as far as he can into the corner away from the slimes.
So now all four of the 5 that are left are sort of clustered around Bron, actually. And Bron's like, this is fine. This is like the whole point of me. Except for one that is it's leaking a bit. And it's next to Julio. The two that were next to Julio, one of them just got caught on the edge of that and flicked into the wall, and it's just now just rolling down the wall gently. Olaf Meles, thank you very much for the follow, you bloody champion.
Oh, yes.
Olfa Meles, thank you very much. Avast, matey, you wee scallywag. Good on you. 800. That is a big milestone. Thank you very, very much. I was hoping to get there before Christmas, and we did it! A month early. Good on you, champions. Let's push on. Yeah.
Josh,
excellent.
I didn't enjoy the fact that you called it leaking. That's just a little bit of feedback from me. I'm like, oh, that
Didn't
sucks.
enjoy that the ooze was leaking. No. Alpha Meles, seeing as you're the 800 follower, I will allow you to donate a D4 bonus to either Kingsley or Bron for that fantastic follow, you bloody champion. So, yeah, who would you like to get it? Everybody has 2 inspirations as well now. You all have a second inspiration.
Excellent.
So feel free to spend them. We go back to the top of the order, unless Kingsley has anything else he wants to shout out.
Nope, that is everything I can do.
Excellent. Julio!
Alrighty. Okay, so I have one in front of me that is leaking.
Yeah. I don't know what it is.
I will try to stop it from doing so in the future by killing it. I rolled another 5, which would be shit in normal circumstances, but right now it's great.
Yeah. You hit.
Yep. I hit, and
Are you hitting it with the Slad Slayer, or are you hitting it with the dagger? Okay.
Slad Slayer BB. Ooh, that's a 23 all up. From the
and Laurite, I would say that yes, the answer would be yes. It would apply to people playing in 12 Days of Candlekeep Shenanigans, because that campaign is ongoing. If the game hadn't started yet, but it is an ongoing campaign. There are 13 episodes of it already. So, yeah, absolutely. I would also point out, however, Laurite, that you're going to be on this channel on Monday evening. Just saying. Laurite plays in 2 different campaigns over here. Laurite is also part of the Teens in Space crew, who will hopefully going to be back on Monday. Very fun. It's a very strong argument. Don't kill it. Alrighty. How much damage did you do?
23 all up from the first attack.
Yeah, that kills it. How do you do this?
Nice.
How do you do this?
Nah.
How do you stop it leaking more?
Yeah, Julio will use his rapier. You know how like Zoro does a and leaves like a little
You do a J.
symbol. Yeah. Julio just like cuts into tiny little pieces, and leaves just little tiny chunks flying across.
Yeah, absolutely. Laurite, my thinking is the Teens in Space is very much dependent on Kate, and Kate's not particularly well right now. So if Kate is well enough to join us, then we will do Teens in Space, and if not, we'll do Major Magica. Just saying. Monday's happening one way or the other. Deal with it. Next is Bron. Oh no, Julio has a bonus action, and there are still 4 perfectly alive.
Is one of them in reach of me?
Yeah.
Or
It's only a 30-foot square room.
Oh yeah.
Don't cast
Sweet.
Fireball.
All of my best fireballs. Okay, I'm rolling even worse. It's a 4, but I still hit. So that's nice. Yeah, because that's 12. So that's with Susan's variable dagger, and
Hells
this
yeah.
is a solid 6 radiant damage.
Solid 6, that'll do. Are you doing one of the ones that Kingsley blamfed, or one of the fresh ones?
I want to get one of those that are already blamfed to not exist anymore.
Unfortunately, you do not manage to make it not exist anymore, but it does get hurt more. And once again, that lightning sort of crackles through it, that yellow lightning. The one that you stabbed up was the one that had that as well. Yeah. Cool, Bron.
So, unfortunately, no one's hit me, because I've got to absorb elements. That would be great.
I mean, you made it really hard to hit you, so...
I know, I realized that. So I'm just going to punch him instead.
Fair
Go
enough.
away, go away, go away, go away. And I'm just going to use my Thunder Gauntlets.
Yep.
Cool, so I guess I shall roll my first attack. On the one that's hurt the most, I'm going to start with that.
Sure. That's
Yeah.
the one Julio just stabbed in the back. Or the front. It's really hard to tell.
Great, cool. So I got a dirty 20 to hit, I think.
Ooh. Yeah, that should do it.
Yeah, okay, great, cool. Let's see. 1d8 plus 1. 4. Okay. 4. Oh, no, sorry, plus 4. So, 7. 7 damage.
This is thunder damage?
Yes.
Yep, cool. Yeah. What color, if you had a color, what color would your magic be?
Ooh, like a leaf green.
Okay, sure. So added to this sparkling yellow lightning running through it, now there is a leafy green sort of like the wave sound makes, like when depicted on the screen, that sort of jagged going through it as well. I think I used the word sine wave earlier, but I actually think I used it wrong. But yeah, that sort of running through it and it actually emits a sort of noise like a gong, like a boom, and yeah, there's just waves running through it, and it's starting to sort of vibrate a bit. And as you hit it, you see your own face reflected right back at it, like. And what face would Bron be making right now?
Like he's just punching. Like he's
Right.
got
Effort.
Yes.
Maximum effort. Yeah. Cosine. Yeah. I meant that. Yeah. Cosine waves. Yeah. So that you see that back, but it is tinged with fear.
Aww.
Just as you touch it.
Aww.
Don't aw. Fuck it
You're
out.
scared of me.
Yeah. Quite with good reason, by the looks of it.
I have another attack.
Hit it again.
This
Aw,
thing ruined my
punch.
outfit. No mercy.
Well, I was gonna hit this one twice. I don't think there'd be enough time to react. So
Yeah.
I'm gonna punch it again.
Yeah, sure.
Great, and another dirty 20 to hit.
Yeah.
Just that. Oh
Bron,
no! Right a second.
how do you do
disconnect.
this?
Nice.
So this is like this is bronze form of thunder damage, so it's a little bit mechanical, but it's kind of like, you know, if you see like sound and there's dust in the air, it just kind of goes. Boom. It's
Yeah.
like that whenever he hits. It's got like pneumatic added things where it's just bang bang. Yeah. So this kind of just splats. Like liquid goes everywhere.
I'm not letting them have a pet ooze, Jess. Yeah, you boom it, and yeah, it just the shockwave sort of reverberates through it, and it goes, it just bursts. And the last thing you like, just as you do that, you see once again your face going, like, huh. As you but tinged with the emotion of fear, as it splatters.
I might use second wind and have another turn.
You mean action surge? Yes.
Action surge. Sorry.
Okay. Right.
Right.
Do it.
Smack 'em.
Because I didn't think it would work. But why the heck not? How many creatures would be in a 30-foot cone?
With a small amount of maneuvering, all the three left, with an even smaller amount of maneuvering, and not your friends.
So, as part of being a Vulpin, I can cast Fear.
Ooh.
I'm going to cast Fear.
Okay.
Hopefully on the slimes. I don't want to cast it on my friends.
What would be the green is the hurt one? What would be the DC?
A Wisdom save of 16.
They start oozing away from you as rapidly as possible.
Yes. Yes.
From all three of them, you can sense serious fear, like terror. You specifically, how does it look when you cast this spell?
This one's going to be another, like, he's got his tools out. In fact, actually, no, this one, he's
is a
going to
racial
be in his
trait.
hands.
Yeah.
Yes. So in his gauntleted fingers, he can just kind of pluck out magic from the air around it and kind of, like, tie it in a knot and, like, get it into this specific geometric configuration and then just... and it pops out into this cone. And it kind of looks a bit strange and funny, but you're not quite sure what's going on. But yeah, it's scary.
I think that more of that thunder quakes through the air at them, and they all start shivering as bits of the terrified one have landed on them as well. They are getting secondhand fear off that as well. And yeah,
Nice.
all three start sort of oozing their ways back up the wall away from you. Unless you want to attack them as they depart, the combat would be over.
I feel bad.
One of them is
I
sinking
really
straight
do.
up into the floor. Just like,
I
nope, nope.
really do, but I think I want to touch it less.
Sorry, guys.
And
Bye.
honestly, we were quite loud, so if the priest is in the mood to fight, we should not let them have too much time to set up. So
Oh, no.
we should probably move.
Good idea. Let's go before they come back and like immediately scampers for the other elevator.
Well done. That was cool. I really like that solution, Bron.
Very nice.
I
yeah.
feel bad as a person for doing that, but you know, it worked. Fear me.
No, you could have killed them, and you didn't. I don't see why that makes you a bad person.
I suppose.
Yeah. Getting onto the next platform takes you down deeper into the earth, the stone changing from yellow to grey before you stop in a small antechamber, 15 feet to a side. A large stone door just ahead of you, very slightly ajar. The gap is probably small enough for Julio to maybe squeeze through. Maybe. You'd probably skin your nose a bit. The others, however, would not fit through.
Can we see any mechanisms or any like levers to open it more?
No, actually. It's just a door. It's just a
Just a
really
door.
big, heavy door.
Can I check it for traps before we touch it?
Absolutely. Investigation.
because we have been burned before.
You see in your mind your own face. No.
Again. Who's that?
The whole door is
intervened?
The
But
door
yeah, I
blinks
rolled
at you.
the.
It's a mimic!
I have a 19.
A 19. The door does not appear trapped. However, with a 19, you would get... It's just a really, really heavy door. What's odd is that it is open, but not a lot. Like, the companions of the Blue Rose presumably came through here. One of them could fit through that hole. There is a bard among them who is a Jabin. The other three would not have fit.
Yeah, strange.
So either
Did they try
went...
to open it after?
They were presumably they maybe closed it behind them, but if they closed it behind them, why did they leave it ajar?
Strange.
Maybe if they left in a hurry.
Or maybe they did close it, but then the priest had to go in somehow, so he opened just as much as he needed to slink in.
Tilia are quite small and very bendy.
Yeah, he didn't need much space. Well,
I think, if I may, I think, was it, got my name for a second. Kingsley will hold out a hand for 1 second, just 1 moment, and actually, like, put a steadying hand on Bron's shoulder as his eyes will flash and just go solid gold again, as I'm going to very briefly hop into Reginald's eyesight, who is invisible, and just the little bat through the gap in the door.
Yeah.
And I just want to make sure that there's not like something strung up either like above the door or like directly in front of it that could be like a trap that's set, because it could be one of ye olde bucket on the half open door.
So it's more like it's not so much like you're not sending a bat through the thing. It's more like just like a telescope. That you just like a periscope. You're putting around the corner.
It's just kind of like
your
just
bat
through the door.
just
Takes a quick look. Nothing obvious. Okay, cool.
Yeah. Looking through the door, you can see that the chamber's walls are lined from floor to ceiling with ebonwood bookcases stacked with tightly rolled scrolls. Tomes and scrolls containing ancient Ellyrian scriptures and hymns lay scattered across the floor, and 2 wide desks in the center of the chamber rest the remains of a battered stone construct. Hymns lay scattered across the floor and 2 wide desks. In the center of the room rests the remains of a battered stone construct.
Construct. That's cool.
At the head of the room stands a stone pedestal, marbled with veins of arcane red energy, topped with a sagging pouch of sand. There is not any traps balanced precariously on the top of the door waiting to fall upon you, nor do there... I mean, can I have a perception check from Reginald?
Sure. Good. Let me very quickly look up what this creature... that is definitely a bat, has to perception.
Yeah.
Well, I rolled a flat 15, and this creature has no bonus.
All right. 15 is pretty good. They do not see anybody in here. They do a quick once-over of the room. There does not appear to be any traps or anyone other than the construct.
I think he'll just sort of, hold his hand out towards the door, and although it's invisible, you'll hear like the kind of faint like fluttering of bat wings as it resettles on his arm, and he'll sort of, again, eyes will go back to normal, and he'll well, you can't see anybody, and I can't see any traps on the door. The large construct in the center. I have no idea where this priest is, but this is definitely the room where the heart was.
right. Well then, let's go in. See what we can find.
All right. I think that Kingsley will look to Bron and just shall we, towards the big heavy door.
Let's.
And if I can I give the help action to Bron, because I know he's stronger than me.
Yeah.
To push the door open.
I also remembered now that I have guidance. So, Bron, you have guidance, a 1d4 to add.
Excellent.
So Bron gets advantage and guidance.
Bron is not
athletics.
very strong, but
Athletics. Yeah.
Ooh, he's good at athletics. Okay, great. You say advantage and guidance. Amazing. Okay, so Great. 16 plus 5 plus guidance.
Well, okay, yeah. Roll it because it's fun, but yes.
And I think as this is happening, you're watching the difference between functional strength and like vanity muscles. Kingsley looks like a bit sort of like muscled up, but it is clearly just sort of maintained for show. Where I think Bron actually
I
has
think
the
the
brawn to
suit
back
is
it up.
doing a lot of the work.
The suit, 100%. Bronda's not strong.
It still counts.
Yes.
Yeah, yeah.
I rolled a 4 on my d4, so that's 25.
Yeah, okay.
Damn.
Yeah, you kind of, the door slams open. Yeah.
Oh.
Bron, like, and then he engages the elbow rockets, and it just sort of slams open.
Yes. Yes,
Um,
elbow rockets, 100%.
just a trio of twinks.
Yeah, sorry, I only saw all of the stuff in the chat. I was like, "That yes, I should have. You're right. I should definitely have just traded these
Yeah.
two for a party of slimes."
How long
That's what
does the mirror image thing last?
Oh, that's a good point.
I think 10 minutes, so...
It's not concentration, so that's fun. 1 minute. Okay, so
1 minute. Oh, yeah, it's probably done. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, no. It ended as you were opening the door. Like, so it was like three bronze opened the door and then sort of merged back into one bron. You gave yourself help. Alrighty. The chamber exhales, and a heavy film of dust coats your mouth and tongue as the door opens. Just sort of there was a small amount of pressure by the sound of it being held back within, even though it was slightly open. And yeah, you find the room as described before.
Yeah, okay,
It's a
so we see the
construct.
remains of the construct.
Yes.
I feel Braun vibrating with excitement next to me, and I'll just grab him by one of the like bits of the armor and say,
Hold on. Before we touch anything.
Traps.
It's made of rock.
Yes. I know this is great, delicious, beautiful rock, but give us a second.
Bronze
And,
gingerbread man.
Sweating.
I'll
There is
just
also
carefully...
there is also a picture of this room if you'd like to see.
Yes, please.
Where are we? Room 3.
Also, I did not take the spell. I think that Kingsley will quietly mention, although he's unable to check it, just sort of, I don't know where this priest is that we're looking for, but if Stephen was to be believed, might be worth keeping your guard up.
All right, yeah, so Julio is
have
very much
information.
wary of the situation, so I'm running for an investigation. Ooh, that's a cool room. And we are, I assume, from B5. We're coming from B5? Oh no, we're coming from B3.
It doesn't really matter. You can be coming from either direction. Let us say you are coming from B3.
Okay. So I'm rolling an investigation, and I will guidance myself to make sure that I don't miss anything, because this feels like a death trap. Okay, so that's a +3, so that's
It's also
19
the
on-
map is slightly wrong as far as you can see it. B5 does not exist.
Okay. So 19 plus 3, that's 22, plus 9, that is 31. Investigation.
Investigation to determine what you're looking for traps.
Yeah, basically Julio is looking at all, like, anything that can be danger or out of place. Is the construct alive still somehow? Is the floor, like, essentially like scanning the room
Yeah.
for danger.
The construct has a hole in the center of its chest, roughly the same size as the Heart of Dako. You could easily infer that it would fit inside. The room has clearly been ransacked, and you would guess recently. Whilst a wave of dust and stuff came out, the papers and stuff on the floor are not covered in dust. So yeah, the companions of the Blue Rose, if they did this, were very disrespectful. Alternatively, someone else has been here. In fact, Julio, with a 30 plus or whatever it was, you stupid girl, you notice some footprints in the dust on the floor. that don't go anywhere and are standing just behind the construct. They look Tilian.
Okay. Because they assume that we can't see them yet. Julio will just like take a couple of steps to the side, like, yeah, this is interesting, and just jump with his jump to the Tilian to try and like get on him, to get the jump on him.
With a weapon drawn, or are you just trying to tackle him?
I'm just trying to tackle. I don't want to hurt this person. I just want him to not run, because if he runs, I might not be able to see the invisible person disappear.
So what's interesting is he ain't invisible. He is a chameleon.
Oh.
So as you jump on him, the air in front of you is knocked over. And
Nice.
you are now looking down at a bit of the air that you were looking at before, but it's now lying on the floor, and you're on top of it, and it sort of struggles with you. Can you please make me acrobatics or athletics? No, it's a grapple check, so you are athletics, I'm afraid. Yeah.
Athletics, fuck. Yeah, I tried to grab him. I'm specifically not interested in hurting him in any way. And as I grapple him, I say, "This is quite awkward, but this is just so you don't run away. We don't want to fight." I don't know how that's
Yeah, the texture
I'm gonna use.
The texture of the room hasn't refreshed. Yeah, use one of your inspirations. Yeah.
Yeah, for sure. I will reroll this shit. Because my athletics, what is it? +3? I mean, that's okay. That's an actual 20.
Oh,
Plus
Julio.
23.
Oh, Julio. Yeah, I mean, I had advantage too, but I was like, nah, I kind of want this to work, but I'm going to roll it now. No, I didn't get it. Yeah, cool. Right. Yeah, Julio, you managed to grapple this being down, and their skin sort of slowly, it goes into this sort of rainbow ripple effect. It starts pulsing and phasing at you, but you close your eyes to it, and it eventually it calms down, and you are looking up at one of the eyes of a Tilia. Hard to guess, but you'd guess male. Yeah, he is wearing leafy leathers and robes. Yeah, there's a lot of feathers. It's all very natural. It's all very sort of jungle shaman-esque is the vibe you're looking at. And he hisses
out of
at
breath, like a little like vine grappling this creature. Julio will like wave at one of the eyes and say, "Hi, not the best introduction I know, but I really didn't want you to run. We need to talk about this place."
What are Kingsley and Bron doing? As Julio attacks the air.
I think Kingsley was actually, and sort of Kingsley by extension, was about to ask to roll to look for footprints to track an invisible person. And so I think he was about to sort of be like, maybe we should look for, and then jump him, and he's just, and I think that, he doesn't draw a weapon or anything, and I think Julio seems to be taking lead, so he'll just sort of move over to be nearby, but is not being obviously threatening.
Right.
And I think Bron, because Bron's got blind fighting, he actually will close his eyes to try and...
I want to be clear, the reason Bron didn't see him is he wasn't within 10 feet of him. But yes.
So, like, I think Bron's like, wait, might be invisible, closes his eyes, and just is like standing in the doorway to be like...
Yeah. Oh, so you can catch him.
Blocker.
Yeah. Love it.
Nice.
Yeah, he doesn't no clip out of the way. Yeah, Julio. Okay, so he hisses back. It's like, you spoke to Stephen.
Yes, and we didn't kill any of your people. Yes, we didn't kill.
But we know.
But we know. Yeah,
the river might have done a number on him, but.
Yeah. So anyone we fought, we were specifically trying to not kill anyone. So I will let you go now. Just hear us out, okay?
You have the heart.
Yes.
Why you bring back?
Okay. You seem amenable to talking. Nice. Sorry.
And he'll just like step out of the guy.
He stands back up and takes stock of the three of you and like very distrustful.
So, Kingsley, if you mind, relaying our intentions to this respectable fellow.
Certainly.
Hey,
We've brought the
charisma boy.
He'll just nod and certainly. We've brought the heart back so that your forest doesn't die. Because currently that's what it's doing.
Elrons kill forest. We save.
No, I think you just don't like the Elrons very much. And look, history is history. I understand that certain things happened, but it's a little difficult for you to refute that fact when, if you take a look upstairs, all the plants are dying. That happens when you take away the heart.
We fix. Not have Elrons. Elrond Temple kill Tilia. Not kill anyone else. Only Tilia.
How did that happen? What happened to Tilia?
So this place is full of traps.
Yeah, that's kind of what Julio's thinking. Like,
So just to confirm, did the Elrond people kill Tilia, or
You would know
perhaps
that, yes, historically, lots, but not recently.
Yeah, I'm more just like, I think he's more referring to that. Just kind of so. In your recent visits, have any of the Elrond people attacked you?
Only traps, constructs, and he gestures at the big stone Elrond. But yes.
Right. Well, the way I see it, you have two choices here, which is either we can attempt to move forward as allies. Potentially, we can look at brokering peace with the Elrond people, and we restore life to the forest. Or you can choose to continue to preserve ancient grudges that, frankly, aren't doing you any favors, and kill the forest in the hope that you can maybe regenerate it later, believing that you can outfight whatever curse or magical effect is causing it to die because you've removed the heart.
Make me a persuasion check. And Rossum, thank you very much for the follow, you bloody champion. Avast, matey, you wee scallywag. Guys, we're on the way to 100 to 900 now.
Let's go.
Incredible. Okay, I rolled a... Okay, I'm going to burn an inspiration, not because that first one was bad, but just because I really want to roll good. Nope,
Go
first
for
one
it.
it is.
Yep.
I will give you a guidance. Like Julio is really hoping for us to succeed, so he's like praying to all the heart to like.
I think I'll just add 4 as well to the roll because I can.
Oh, flash of genius.
Nice.
In
Okay,
what
I also
way?
just rolled-
How does your flash of genius help? I'm not saying it doesn't. I just want to know how.
So I think, what were you? Because you were convincing him of that.
Yeah.
I think his flash of genius is going to like piece together a couple of like pieces of information about like, oh, maybe if he says no, remind him that like one of the pieces upstairs is blue, so maybe there's another part of the forest that's dying. Like he kind of puts together like maybe he is more invested in this than we think. You know, maybe he has more at stake here than he's letting on, and just kind of like puts it all together and I guess magically sends that to him. And flash of genius is, well, I suppose he can.
You can sort of mutter it to Kingsley. Yeah.
Yeah.
All right. Well, I rolled a 4 on the d4. So thanks to those, the +4 and the +4, that's a flat 30.
Yeah.
Pretty good.
Because I had rolled a 14 + 8.
You think you can fix? I fix. I know how. I already
How do you
fixed one
propose?
temple. You think you fix? You fix. I not stop.
Can I roll an insight check to see whether he genuinely thinks he's like, when he says fix, whether there's an air of like almost, I guess, like maliciousness of like, yeah, I fixed it, like I did
fixed
what
it.
we wanted,
Yeah.
or whether
I
he's
burnt it
genuinely saying,
down,
no,
you
like I
know.
saved the forest.
Yep, sure. Insight.
Awesome. Yeah, I'm going to immediately burn the other inspiration.
There it goes.
So that's
Love
a
it.
total of 16.
16.
12 and 4.
Very well.
God bless Jack of all trades.
Curse you, Jack of all trades. The 16. Yeah, he genuinely thinks he's fixed it. And it's hard, like, you're listening to the bluster and the hatred, and he does hate Ellerins. Thank goodness none of you are one. Interesting that his team were working with Nadia Da, who absolutely is an Ellerin. They needed someone to figure out how to get through. He figured an Ellerin leading a team would probably have the most success because he needed someone to get him in here. So yeah, he genuinely thinks that he has repaired the damage, whatever he did. If you asked, he would tell you that the one that he fixed is the blue one.
Yeah.
Right.
That is connecting to the glow, because it also glowed, but just not red. It was blue.
Yeah.
So when you say you fixed this temple, what exactly happened?
I use magic. I talk to gods. I priest. They say, Samantha, you go. You take. You fix. They give me power. Give me strong. I go. I take power. I fix.
Samantha.
I needed to get the name and none of you asked. Rude.
And just to be clear, did the forest around that temple survive this fixing?
Lush. Beautiful. Like new. Perfect home for Tilia.
Yes, but this is good. But what will happen to the fields that people need to grow crops to survive in the city?
They fix. Good for city.
Will the fields survive?
He hasn't fixed it yet.
Can we huddle for a second? Guys, let's huddle.
I'm so regretting not picking Zone of Truth now.
Okay, give us a second. We are taking your words very seriously. We need to discuss something. Okay, so I don't think he's lying, and I don't think it's also like fully our decision to make. But I mean, what do you guys think?
It's tough that he fixed the other temple and it worked. Like, if it had exploded, then we would be like, okay, you're full of crap. But it worked, so I don't know what to think anymore. Is it bad to put this stone back? Is it good? I mean, wait, if we put the stone back, forest regrows. If he then fixes it afterwards, forest regrows, right?
Yes.
Only downside is us not putting the thing back.
I'm presuming he can't fix it if we put it back.
Yeah.
Well, he did the other one.
I feel like this is quickly going beyond what I'm capable of thinking of. This sounds like a theological debate.
Yeah, it really is, isn't it? And also, I mean, we have no representatives of the city's religion here. Yes, bro?
We have like a magical religious seed.
That's true.
Could we ask it? Would it know anything about this?
Just taking opinions from anyone, huh? No,
I would be very surprised.
It's a god.
Given that it's not from this plane.
It's actually, technically sort of is keyed into one, but it's not.
yeah, it's pretty not.
Okay, I think here's the thing. Samantha, good Samantha.
Samantha.
Samantha, how much time would you need to fix this part of the forest?
Many days.
with your magic. Huh?
Many days.
Many days. Many days.
And
Need find heart. Need get.
Heart?
Yes.
Like this one? And I showed Heart of Dako.
That not heart. Not true heart. That key.
Key to what?
Heart.
So where
So
does
you're
the
saying the
Samantha,
heart.
give me a something. Throw me a bone.
So the heart is a place, not an object. The heart of the temple?
This one.
Is that what you mean? Right. Well, one last question.
Oh,
I know that you're saying that fixing these temples is the right thing, and that it will even fix things for the city, which I can appreciate. But during the process of this fixing, is anybody going to be hurt?
Not no.
who's going to be hurt?
No, not no.
Oh, you don't know. I thought
Why-
the answer isn't no.
In what was anybody hurt during your previous fixing?
Not no. Not that I know.
All right. I think
Can I
Oh.
very briefly, can I just roll a religion check about this god that this
Sure.
person attributes themselves to? Just because I'm thinking supplanting another religion feels like weird territory, and especially if a god is telling you effectively like go out and take this other god's temple. And I'm kind of thinking like, as much as this sounds like a good deal, if it turns out that it's like, yeah, you know, this god, like there's whole legends about him like stabbing other gods in the back and stuff, then it might not be the vibe. So it's a 17.
17 religion check. He hasn't specified which god.
He didn't say.
I think that he will actually sort of follow that up then to ask in that case, which god do you serve?
Not god. Amaranthine.
Which Amaranthine do you serve?
Actually, no. I'm sorry. I'm going to walk that back.
Oh, that's fine.
What god does he serve? Earth.
So the Earth told you to reclaim these temples.
Plane of Earth.
plane of Earth. Oh. Samantha, this is not very much connected to what we're talking about here, but I am also a servant of the plains, like you.
And I will show Samantha my green eye.
I pledged my allegiance to the plane of life. And I want to ask you something. Do you know of what is happening right now on the Earth plane? Does it feel the need to extend its influence here?
It wants help. It wants fix.
Might I be able potentially to roll an insight check to see their reaction when Julio claimed that they were allied with the plane of life? It looked like he kind of froze up for a second, and I'm wondering whether that's like whether he's trying to hide like a bad reaction or like hostility.
You may incite the heck out of that.
Also, can you remind me, because as a player, this has been a while, when we talked to Amaranthine and we discussed the future with the planes, what was said about the plane of Earth? Because I remember shit about like fire plane being whack and wind.
Do you recall on the plane of life you encountered an incursion from another plane?
Yes.
Do you recall what plane it was?
It was on the edge with the Earth plane, as far as I remember.
Yeah.
But I don't remember. Is the Earth
It
plane
was
one of
definitely
those
a
that?
hostile act.
Oh, there was a hostile act.
It was
Okay.
invading.
Okay.
I rolled a total of 19.
Almost all the elemental planes are hostile to each other. To a greater or lesser degree. Earth and life actually get along better than most. There is a degree of synergy in what they do. Earth, life, and water are sort of roughly aligned on one side of the spectrum. But earth and death also get along just fine. There's a lot of stuff there. It's elemental affinities and things like that. He, in answer to what you saw, he was interested, mildly surprised, and not necessarily hostile. More like curious.
Okay.
This man is he is not a very schooled chap.
Right. Well, I think none of us have any knowledge of what happened.
Bishop Blood and Reading Aloud are so happy.
Yeah, honestly, we should like, yes. That's like,
Josh loves me. It feels so good.
So, Samantha, I think I have a proposal for you. Right now, you let us put the stone back in its place here. Now, I know you think it's gonna set you back, but in fact, what this means is that you have agreed to cease hostilities and work with us on this. So that would give you a very good foothold into talking with the officials in the city to actually take 2 of the altars for Tilians. I think if we show that your people are more than ready to discuss and separate the influence in the jungle fairly, this will result in a good opportunity to win respect and influence for you. And this first act, it would show that you are doing it in good faith. You have successfully changed one of the altars. I think if they see it to be true, I don't see why not let you have half of the jungle's points of power.
Make a persuasion check.
Can I give the help action by sort of chiming in just afterwards and just... I think this is about the best deal you're going to get, because if you keep taking over temples without telling anyone, I don't want to paint any pictures prematurely, but I can't imagine people are going to look very favorably on someone conquering temples without actually checking with anyone first.
Also, I have a question. I know I have a help action. Can I still use my inspiration to reroll?
As in, I'll allow you to reroll one of them.
I will, because I rolled pretty badly, but
Ass. Okay.
I rolled a 4 and an
Lord.
8. 8 is not bad for me, but I want more.
You also have a D4
That's fair.
bonus.
Yes, I do, and I will probably guidance myself.
Bron is very
Okay.
not wise, and he's just standing here, the whole conversation being like,
Yeah, that's fair. Okay. So I have
Both
a
sides
guidance.
make some great points.
Also, just slowly sidling over to the giant stone statue. Good
Yep,
ideas.
yep.
Checking this shit out,
yes,
like
yes.
lifting the bonnet, like yeah.
Okay, so this is much better now. I rolled a 17 on the die, plus 3 from my guidance, which is 20. My persuasion is 10, which is 30.
Okay. I presume you're not burning that D4 bonus then.
I will leave it for later.
Okay, right. A 30 is pretty good. So Julio, was that your first or second inspiration that you've burnt? I think you've both of them now, isn't it?
I burned both of them.
Yeah, cool. Love it. Then, he says, okay, we go to Heart together. We see. See what it say.
the heart's alive?
Not for much longer. That's why I need fix.
Uh-oh. Does it go
Okay.
in the heart hole? This is
No, that wake up construct don't do.
Oh.
Okay, so the stone would also go to the heart. That's because it's the key. Okay.
I look for other way, no other way. Did not want companions take. Bag.
Alright.
And he points at the bag of sand. Heart go there.
into the sand.
No, they replaced Indiana Jones style.
They
had the bag of
did the
sand, yeah.
thing.
Yeah,
Right.
yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
Alright.
I've been waiting for an opportunity for a large boulder down a narrow, but we've done that in a
Break up
different
the
game.
construct. No.
Bron, you can make me an investigation if you are proficient with some kind of tools, so you can have
So many
proficiency. Even if you're not proficient with investigation, it's basically it's an intelligence check with proficiency.
I have a thing where if I use tools, I get double proficiency.
Didn't do that, yeah. Intelligence with
Yeah.
inspiration with double proficiency, yeah.
Intelligence with double proficiency. I am going to burn one of my inspirations because I rolled a 2.
Hell yeah.
Great, cool.
Unfortunate.
So, 16, is it a save or... Oh,
No,
intelligence.
just yeah.
Great, cool. 16 plus 4 makes a dirty 20. Plus, and my proficiency
Two
is
proficiencies is another
8. 28.
Yeah, cool. Bron, you, while they've been chatting, I think Bron's just wandered off. I'm paying attention. I'm listening. Like all good ADHD, you can listen to this conversation. You could repeat it back to them, but you're not paying attention. And yeah, you are in here. You are up in there. You've got your head up inside the cavity. You're like, oh, that's how they did that. Oh. You probably could turn this thing on if you wanted to without the stone by channeling your magic and one of your infusions. However, you could alternatively, given time, effort, and money, build one of your own or something similar. You have, with that roll, determined the secrets to creating a construct of similar, sort of in a similar vein.
Yeah, cool. Okay.
Amazing.
If I turned it on, it would be angry at us.
Maybe.
Right?
It has the vibe of a protector.
I'm gonna leave it for now. He's dumb, but he's not that dumb. I'm not gonna turn it on right now, but maybe if we get in a lot of trouble, who knows?
Maybe. Yeah.
Wow.
Alrighty. So yeah, you know how to put the thing back. Sherbrooke Waters, thank you very much for the follow, you bloody champion. Avast, mateys, you wee scallywag. What do? Julio, you're the one with the stone.
Yeah. Okay. So from what I understood, we put the stone back, and that opens the way to the heart. That's the idea. Okay. Then Julio will definitely do the maneuver of Indiana Jones, but putting the stone back.
Make me I think this is sleight of hand.
Yep. Oh, that's a natural 20.
Let's
Julio,
go.
it is so smooth. And as you put the stone back in, you hear a click and you go, wait, this bag of sand wasn't doing shit.
Nice.
You hear, there is a click of, right, something is locked back in, but yeah, the click would indicate that the sand wasn't locking that in, so
They tried. That's funny.
The stone grows brighter, the intensity increasing as Samantha looks at it with this sort of like patient glare. The floor of the room begins humming, and the entire chamber sort of goes boom, and you sort of lift off your feet, and all of a sudden you're standing on the floor, sort of bouncing like the elevators you were in before, and the entire thing starts floating downwards, revealing an archway to a second chamber about 40 feet lower. So you're now, the room you were in above, it's still there, but you've just sort of left it behind. You go down 40 feet, and there is a room archway going through into it. When the lift lands, a squeal of steam pierces the air, accompanied by the thrum of some strange arcane current, almost like a heartbeat. A massive red crystal suspended in an ovoid obsidian cage floats in the center of the chamber. The cage hovers inches above a pedestal composed of a tangle of obsidian vines that grow wider at the base, snaking off into the dirt like roots. The reflection of the warm ruby makes the obsidian look almost alive. The caged crystals pulses with life, beating in time with the great rhythm. You can see it through your eye. You're not normally aware of that pulse, but seeing this, your life attunement just boom, and you can absolutely hear it, see it, feel it. Obsidian eggs resembling the Heart of Dako that you brought here litter the floor. Their centers are cracked and grey, save one, whose flawless facets give off the hint of light. Broken Ellyran constructs reside in each corner of the room, trapped by tangles of vibrant plant life, just like the one you saw upstairs. And do any of you speak Ancient Ellyran? Probably not.
Didn't really come up before.
I don't think the orphan... Well, actually, of any of the things, 4 orphans raised by an Ancient Ellyran priestess probably might know.
Can we roll for it?
Yeah. Make me a history check. All three of you.
Yeah.
It might have come up in your early education at some point.
Actually, to that note, does communal apply?
Yeah, it totally fucking would, actually.
I got
yeah.
a nat 20.
Let's go. I got a 19.
Wow. Okay, so, yeah. Kingsley, how did you do? No, okay.
I have a +8, but I rolled a 2. So that's a 10.
Yeah. So, yeah, I reckon... Oh, you know what? Bron and Julio got caught one time for some hijinks. Kingsley managed to talk his way out of it, but the punishment was writing out 100 lines of something that is very similar, and it just, you know what this translates to because you've written it a bunch of times. This reads, there is a carving, an inscription underneath this, and it says, "Here lies Dako's true heart." In Ancient Ellyran. Neither of you in any way fluent in the language, but there is enough words in there. You get like here, Dako. No, actually, you don't get here, but you get lies, Dako and heart, and you're like, right, okay, I think I get it.
Okay, yeah.
Given my, I think, like looking at it, and I think immediately dismissing it as just, I can't read that, and sort of glancing around the room. Is there any way I'd be able to make a check to try to identify what that egg might be?
Yes. Bron would be the one to guess, and Bron could easily guess at this point. It's a battery.
Oh, okay. So I'm guessing then, like out of character, obviously, because Bron would know
charges
this and
up.
not
Like
me.
the one you put in the plinth started glowing immediately, and now even back in where you came from, it's still glowing brighter and brighter. It's pulsing, and yeah, that makes sense. This is a recharging station. The Heart of Dako, the true heart, is the power source. These are just the batteries that are charged up from it.
If Kingsley was to wander over to the egg, I think Bron would turn and be like, "Oh yeah, that's a battery. That's how this all and explain what we've just heard."
Right. And looking around, are all the other eggs that are cracked and broken, have they been assaulted by this like greenery that's been destroying everything?
The greenery doesn't appear to be the cause of the problem. It's just, it actually almost seems to be from the heart, not to it. It's sort of, it's more of a support structure. It's how the heart is keeping the forest, it's how the heart is connected to the forest. What you do notice, however, is Samantha says, "This different. Broken different way."
How
Right.
so? What was your previous experience?
Subsidence, earth fall apart. Whole heart torn apart. Heart still here, just not good.
Think
The crystal. Can you all make me wisdom saves.
Uh-oh.
Oh. Wisdom save.
I have a
Possible?
-1 to my wisdom
Excellent.
saves.
Yeah, not doing great with
It's
that
a
one.
it's a 15.
Bit 12 for me.
Big 12.
You know what?
Do it. Do it.
I have a couple left. I'm gonna have a flash of genius if I can and change it
Oh,
from
sure.
a 10.
You do have
to a 4.
inspiration.
Got one more left.
Yeah.
But I've still got a -1 to my modifier, so I don't know.
That's all right. Yeah, fair enough. Alrighty. All three of you sort of managed to keep your focus, though it is hard. You notice Samantha is being sort of is fixated on this heart and is slowly drifting towards it. You all feel from it a sense of gratitude, in an effort to thank you.
Does Samantha seem like hypnotized?
Not hypnotized exactly, more just sort of fixated.
Okay.
Not under its control, just sort of like a...
And these things were made out of like the souls of ancient Elurans, right?
Yeah.
They are probably still racist. That's not. I worry that it's going to try to eat Samantha.
Yeah, me too.
We should grab some. We should just.
We
kind of
gently like stop Samantha and say, hold on. Oh, you drifting closer. What are you doing?
It wants to thank.
Do you know how?
Not sure.
Of all the people here, you should be the most suspicious.
No, this one not hurt.
You trust it.
You not?
I don't know what to trust anymore.
Ancient
I think
Eliran good guy. Give soul. Save forest. You not trust?
Save forest from what?
this sounds really out of character. So I think what I'm going to try is I think Kingsley is actually going to walk over and just sort of like hands on both shoulders, just, hey, eyes on me. And as he does, his golden eyes are going to twinkle and swirl a little bit. I'm going to cast Enthrall, and I need them to make a wisdom saving throw. So if they fail, they have disadvantage to perceive anything other than me for the next minute.
Nice.
So I'm just trying to pull its attention away.
Okay. It's gonna be close. Treewardens. I have 15.
That is one short. 16 is the DC.
Nice.
So I think as he sort of speaks and his eyes sort of like gestures to his eyes so that she looks at them. Oh, sorry, he looks at them. The eyes sort of like spin and swirl slightly. And as he sees a couple of little golden flecks appear in his iris to indicate that the effect has sort of taken hold, we'll just... Now, what were you just saying about an Eluran good guy?
They save. Jungle, yes? That story.
Presumably.
Not all Eliran bad. I know this. I not hate all Eliran.
Okay. Forgive me. I
But Emperor
had to be
bad.
Forgive me. I had to be sure. I'm dealing with magic far beyond anything I've ever witnessed, and I must admit I thought that you'd been charmed. As he'll kind of step back and let the spell
Says the guy who
fade.
just charmed him.
My
They don't know that. They don't know that.
While Kingsley was asking these questions, this moment of like before Samantha actually does something, Julio will look at the heart with his elemental side and see like what is its alignment, basically, if I'm like capable. Because Julio is not sure if it's like gonna do something bad to Samantha.
Julio,
What would that be?
looking at this, scrolls right back down in his notes again. You make your eye contact with the true heart, the big one. Cool. It's great. Don't worry, it's great.
You see yourself.
Yeah, from all points of view,
Yeah.
your mind breaks.
You find yourself. You look into it, and the heart, which is a burning red, flashes as your green eye makes contact with it, and you find yourself in a pleasant glade within the jungle. After a couple of seconds, you can clock that you are where the temple now stands. However, there is only a small stone bench looking out at the gorge of the river below. Seated on the bench is a graceful Ellyrian woman, her ears sharp and pointed with black tips, her fur tan with white and brown stripes. She is wearing a simple robe of white cotton and a smile. "Hello, Julio. It's rare that one who serves another comes to my aid, so I thought I would say thank you in person."
Oh, are you Naba?
"I am she."
Oh, I mean, it's an honor to meet you. Where are you? What happened to you? People barely remember you.
When the Empire fell, my followers fell with them. It was
Well,
for
not
the
all.
best. The Emperor was not a nice man. Better things have arisen in the after times. I am still followed, just not by as many.
Yes,
I am not
I
cut
can
up
attest.
about it.
I can attest that Lady Caspia does your faith proud with
She
her
is
teachings.
a good egg, that one.
Yes. Well then, I should ask you, because this is way beyond our opinions and capabilities, what to do here. On one side, I want to pay respect to Tilly and denizens of the jungle. On the other, people need safety. So what do you suggest?
The Tilia are breaking things and serving the interests of an elemental plane. Not wise. You are from a place where there is a strong upwelling of fire elemental magic, yes?
Mm-hmm.
Imagine if this whole area was to be filled with earth elemental magic. Do you think that would go well for the people here, including the Tilia?
Probably not.
No.
Um,
My paladins made their sacrifices so that we did not have to resort to elemental magic to fix the problem.
but I serve elemental magic, and it has been good to us.
No. You serve Alderheart. A
So
very
you know about him.
different proposition. Alderheart is powered by the elemental plane of life, but all Amaranthines are. I myself am aligned with fire and earth.
And yet you say the elemental earth plane should not be let in. That means a lot then. Thank you. All right. But I have to ask, the one temple that they took to own, would that be
It can
bad?
be repaired. And if you let me talk to Samantha, I will teach them how.
That's what you were trying to do, to talk. I'm sorry, we were quite...
No, you are right to not trust. A lot has happened, and not all of it good. The Tilia
Yes.
have their reasons, and they're not bad ones. They're just... A lot has happened. Wounds can be fixed, but a place of trust is important, and you help foster that. You also
Okay.
did a number on the Companions of the Blue Rose, who are an absolute bunch of criminals, so that was also nice to watch.
Yeah, they kind of pillaged the place, didn't they?
they,
Ugh.
they have their own goals. They're not bad, they're just not good. They're certainly not
Yeah.
nearly as good as they think they are. As you and
Okay.
your friends proved.
All right then. In that case, I thank you for your honesty and for your time. One last question I have. Recently, we kind of ran into one of the amaranthine that was not super good to us. What's the what's your take
My
on that
take on
fella,
Kren.
if you know? Yeah.
My following is not strong in the Humblewood, thus my interests are not particularly focused there, but the thing about Kren, well, you notice none of the others went to stop him. You think they could not have? No. If Ardea and Titon wanted him to not do what he did, he would not have. Hell, Gaspard could have stopped him if he wanted, and Gaspard very much has a horse in that race. So, the thing about Kren, he is not a bad guy. He just does things differently. He is, however, interestingly for someone who makes others find so much gray area to work in his own self, he is quite black and white. He sees things as binaries, and they are not always, as your friend Kesh demonstrated.
All right. Thank you. I shall send in Samantha for your talk. I hope it goes well.
She nods, and you notice a tear on her cheek.
Oh. You okay?
I am. This is for you. And she takes a finger and holds it up, and now, suspended within a clear gem, is a single tear. This is... Give this to your friend in thanks for your service. There's more than one way. There's more than one way to make an amaranthine.
By friend, she means Aldehardt. Julio just like squeals a little bit, takes it gratefully, doesn't say anything else to not break the moment.
She also reaches into a pocket and says, and give this to Bron. To replace the one he broke.
Oh, fucking stone. I mean, the hacking stone. I'm so sorry.
Nothing for Kingsley, though. Rhea can be very particular, and I don't want to upset the balance he has found.
I'll keep that in mind. Okay.
Julio.
I've been at it.
And once again, you sort of snap back. Yeah. Julio has been staring transfixed for about 3 minutes at this thing. His green eye glowing incredibly brightly. The room is illuminated in this green light.
I do think that there's probably been a few moments of just sort of like looking back and forth between Bron and Julio, sort of being like, and after like a couple of minutes, I think pulls out the lyre and starts plucking out a tune and starts trying to use counter charm to see whether he can
trying his best to keep us
dispel.
afloat.
Just
Yeah.
like, is this gonna do anything? Ding, 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 ding.
Oh, that's a nice music. Oh,
Oh, it worked. Are you all right?
A magic rock?
yeah. Magic rock for you from the Amaranthine in
It's for
whose
me?
temple we hold. Yeah, Samantha, you are absolutely right. Go touch the heart.
Samantha goes and touches the heart.
Right. You talked to an amaranthine.
And it gave me a magic rock.
Yeah, okay. I heard
Bron,
that.
it's exactly the same magic rock that you had a little while ago. That
wait.
is now in your gauntlet.
It's not for me.
Well, it's kind of for you. It's for you to,
It
you know,
means
make
that you can
amends.
keep that one.
Yep.
Magic rock!
I'll tell you what Naba told me when we get back, but So far,
Right.
while Samantha is busy, I don't think Samantha can hear us because I surely couldn't hear anything. The elemental plane of Earth, not a good idea to give him anything. And I
Oh,
hope Naba persuades Samantha, but if not, we'll have to deal with the consequences. Because, yeah, it's not good.
with the rocket elbows.
Maybe,
Oh,
I hope it
do
doesn't
it.
come to it.
Right.
Go
Well,
to sleep, go to sleep, go to sleep, go to sleep. And then Samantha goes rigid and falls backwards.
Uh-oh.
Oh, can we catch?
Yeah, you catch him, and he sort of. I was wrong. Oh.
Yeah.
Oh. I was so wrong.
that deep regret or a headache? I can fix one of
Both.
those.
Both.
I think we'll just sort of walk over and just sort of like a quiet little glow from his talon as he lesser restorations the headache away.
Yeah. And both of
To
his
be
eyes,
fair-
which like can move independently, sort of blink independently and like
Nice.
then swing lazily. One of them swings to look at you, and then the other one comes around a little bit later and goes, "My thanks." Oh,
No worries. Existential
have-
crisis is enough.
I have much work to do.
Yes. Do you have any way to connect with your people so they don't like shank us on the way out of here?
I come with. I need to gather them anyway.
Right.
Much work to do. We Tilia need fix.
Yeah.
Need
Okay.
fix is good.
What's your plan now?
Naba shows the way. We go fix now.
Okay.
New heart must be made. Sacrifice must be given.
Sacrifice of like time and effort, please.
And soul.
Yeah,
Oh.
that is
Oh,
not for us
dear.
to
fix
interfere
what-
with.
I fix what was broken.
Yeah.
Well, if
Yeah.
you need a help,
That's very brave.
Angel Mythos, not all are bird folk. So Kingsley
I think
is a
I'm
bird
the
folk.
only one who's a bird
In
in
this
this
one?
group.
We've got a rolling. So Dario is our channel artist. They created all the wonderful artwork that is rolling by beneath me. They are all the characters that currently have art have been going around. So yeah, a good portion of them are bird folk. However, Bron is a Vulpin, which is a fox guy, and there's a little mousy boy wearing a cloak that comes up every now and again. That's Julio. And Kingsley is a chicken, like a rooster.
Very fancy chicken.
Yes.
Julio
That one is a
will-
Warforged.
oh, that's cool.
Oh,
That's
Nice.
Yeah, there's Julio.
Julio will look Samantha in the eyes and say, not many can accept and say that they were wrong after doing so much. And even fewer people can take actionable steps to fix it. So whatever happens, Samantha, you have our undying respect. And I will go back to the city and I will let my friend who is a priest of Naba know that Tilians need help and need support in whatever new path they find.
Love it.
and do you have
Yep.
a last name, Samantha, or just a way you'd like to be remembered? Songs tend to travel a little further than names written in musty old books.
My name is Samantha. No last name. It is not the Tilia way.
Understood.
We are not people of the towns. Tilia of the towns have I not.
Well, regardless. You won't be forgotten anytime soon. As he sort of starts mentally making notes to commemorate the one who's about to go give their soul to repair the damage they did.
No, Bishop
Correct
Blood. It's
spelling
like
from
eight
Bishop.
S's and a silent Q.
Samantha.
Squament.
No, it's silent. That's yeah.
Oh, true.
It's a Monty Python reference. Yes, it's spelled with 4 M's and a silent Q. But yeah, I've always amused. So yes, with that touching scene, I think we will sort of move the timeline on a little bit. Samantha takes you back to the place where you're all started out. The Tilia protect you from the grumpy but understanding companions of the Blue Rose, who haven't fared badly out of this, honestly. They actually did do a bit of looting. They've got a bit of money. They just aren't ludicrously rich like they hoped. You return back to the city. One final scene from each of you. How do you end this little narrative? I mean, you all see Bronn trying valiantly to make a giant stone cat person. Yeah.
Yes, but also I think immediately the first thing that popped into my head was a scene where Bronn goes back to the orphanage and like says hi and lends a hand and very hopes to get a moment to surreptitiously put the rock back.
Yeah.
It's been missing for 15 years. It's like it is suddenly just like back on the nuts.
Takes the moment when Julio's like, everyone gather around, we're going to plant a baby tree. And he's like, yes, plant runs.
Baby tree. No one noticed and just like comes back to the tree. Baby tree.
Can I get a sleight of hand, please?
Oh no.
Please fail.
I've got one more reaction left.
Or stealth if it's better.
Or I've got one more inspiration, thank fuck, because I rolled an 8. Oh, that's much better. Okay, great, cool. What did I get? They're both +1, so 14. And I'm going to use my last reaction if I can to add 4.
Very well.
Great.
Flash of inspiration, flash of genius on. You build a little. Oh my god! I reckon you built. Yeah, why don't you're making a face. Do it.
Yeah. So I build like a stone returning device. Yes, that's like a cross between a little spider and one of those boxing gloves on.
Yeah.
So it can just kind of like walk where it needs to and like broop, into different parts of the room. And yeah, like sets it free and it scuttles away and you hear the like broop, and it scuttles back without a rock and you're good.
Utilizing your knowledge of how to make little constructs, yes. This is the first of many little what do artificers build? It's an infusion that they can build. A homunculus.
Oh yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
John, that was very, very cool. I'm going to give you inspiration for it. It's a lovely, lovely description. Yeah, Julio.
Yes. So when Julio comes back, of course, he retells his old, foster mother, Caspi, everything that happened, talking about Samantha and discussing what Naba has told him. And I think they kind of connect about that, which is very nice. And yeah, at some point, Julio would want to gather everyone to plant the seed and to commemorate the occasion. And as Julio plants the seed, he wants both Kingsley and Bronn and Caspi to help him bury the seed well. And as he does, he turns to Kingsley and says, I have something to ask, if you don't mind. I know that you can talk to plants, and this little seedling will be quite far away from its siblings. I worry it might get lonely. If you could sometimes talk to it or maybe sing a song or two, it would be very nice.
Absolutely. I wasn't exactly planning on leaving town anytime soon, so no one should go without a friend.
Caspia,
And as he says that, he's kneeling down nearby, but he's not at all helping with the digging because getting his hands dirty sounds terrible.
That's fair.
But he's there for moral support.
Caspia puts her hand on the little pile of dirt as you've put it in and says, "This one will never be alone." And she's picked out a really nice sunny spot that will provide shade over the seesaw. So it will always be within eyesight of kids having fun. And it'll be a part of that in a little way.
Could be a tree house.
Well, also, Julio, you know that anyone touching one of these can talk to it. Not just Kingsley. Yeah. She gives you a hug, I think. And she says, "Before you go, can I get the recipe for the hash browns? I need it.
Yes.
Otherwise, there will be a riot. You made them once,
Yes.
you cannot then leave, okay?"
They're so
Sure.
good.
I scribble it down, and I think probably at some point I would definitely discuss with her, like, lobbying for
Yeah.
interests of
Tilia.
Tilians in the
Yeah.
city, but that is like off screen.
Yeah. And Zach, what does Kingsley do?
I think Kingsley sort of, celebrates a bit, kind of is, smiling and laughing along with everyone. But especially sort of as the day does sort of draw to a close and it sort of begins to get dark outside as the sun starts to set, probably finds another spot against like a wall or a tree or something similar nearby to where the tree has been planted, pulls out his lyre, and I think very sort of softly just begins to sort of play a sort of like almost like lullaby, sort of lilting tune, occasionally inserting not words but just kind of bird song where it feels appropriate to him. I think actually foregoing sleep that night, rubbing his eyes a bit as he sort of comes to from almost a trance as the sun begins to rise, as he finishes his 8-hour cast of plant growth to ensure that the tree and all of the other nearby vegetation will grow happy and healthy over the next year. And I think as he does, kind of just like stands, lets out a breath, stows his lyre, and begins to I think make his way to Bronze House. As he, I don't even think he knocks necessarily, just kind of pushes the door open to go inside and shouts something about fruity pebbles.
Yes. Also, I think I realized hash browns. Brom's probably inventing a deep fryer.
Oh,
Yes.
Incredible.
I think overall, after the ceremonial part, we'll probably just all like gather for like a good evening of
Yeah.
100%.
reminiscing, eating.
A feast.
Yeah.
I do think that Kingsley would have asked Julio what it was like to meet Naba, to meet the Amaranthine.
Josh, would you mind if we roleplay that bit?
please. I ain't gonna
Okay.
stop you.
Okay.
So you got to meet, well, I mean, practically a god. What was it like?
I mean, Amaranthines are gods in eyes of people. That's what counts. She was very good. Well, it's not the first Amaranthine we've been in contact with. It's kind of back in Humblewood, a lot of things are happening, and a lot of that is things connected to Amaranthine and their different ambitions.
Right.
And some Amaranthine, like Naba, are very nice. Some have their own approaches. Let's say that.
Right.
And Naba was very, very kind. She gave me this.
And Julio shows the crystallized tear.
This.
Is
Wow.
this a private conversation between just the two of you, or is this like
I think that's with Braun as well, but
Yeah.
Braun is probably like busy making like food or something. So I assume because he's so like
I
a
was sort of
little
picturing this
scatterbrained.
at the dinner table. The kids have been put to bed, and the four of you, like you are sitting there with Mistress Iskander, and you're all just she's cracked open a small bottle of sherry, and the four of you are sitting there sipping away.
Yeah.
And so Bron and Iskander are on the other side of the table having a chat about his plans to build more tiny robots and that can help her around the orphanage and do sweeping and menial tasks
Heck yeah.
like the dishes, because Julio hates doing them. Yeah.
Yeah. First dishwasher, nice.
Yeah. But she tunes in at the word Naba and says, yes. Well, actually, she tunes in at Naba but doesn't say anything until you hold up the tear. And she says, ooh, the tear of an amaranthine. That is a great gift.
Yes, it's for the older heart. I've been trying and hoping to support it to become a power to be on the level of amaranthine, and I think this is the last step in that journey.
She gave, it's more than her blessing, it is a portion of herself.
Oh, does that mean Naba will become even weaker?
No, I don't think so. It's more like an alliance.
Oh,
This might make her stronger.
that's good.
But it will also
I think
make the older heart stronger.
that's good. Of any amaranthine to align ourselves with, I think Naba would be a fine choice. Speaking of amaranthine, Kingsley, she did mention that you are of Rhea's ilk.
I think fully like starts choking on whatever he's drinking. And after a moment taken to sort of like like beating his chest a little bit, just sort of Rhea's taken an interest in me. Right. Well, I mean, I suppose I do love telling a good story, heroic adventures and all that. I could see it.
Kingsley, bard to bard.
And we
She
cut
said more
there.
than just interest.
And I think we'll leave it there.
Yeah, they do like a little like tap over the nose, and that's about it.
I think
Amazing.
there's definitely a look in his eye of like later.
Yeah.
You've got your fucking deity, leave mine out of this.
Yep.
Amazing, guys. Thank you so much. That was great. Let us do a quick round of favorite moments, which is what we like to do at the end of our streams, where we go around the room and say what we all thought each other did real good. And of course, we want to hear what our lovely audience thought as well. Guys, throw your favorite raid emotes up, favorite moments up in chat. I mean, raid emotes as well. Why not? They're great. But yes, we need to know who's going first. So can I get a couple of D4s in chat, please? This is something we have stolen unapologetically from the dreaded GM. I've been doing it for years, though. Shanahos rolls a 1. Ha! You missed me, Shan. You missed me. We're going to be talking John first. Excellent. Thanks, all right, for the raid emote there. I know I asked for it. There's a whole bunch of things that you just say, and it just sits in your mouth so much you don't even think about it. All right, favorite Braun moments. ! Roll space the number 4. Or as Shanahos did. However, we need a 3 now, because it will be between me, Julio, and Kingsley after that. But let us talk first of all about Bron. Favorite Bron moments, everybody.
I was very much tickled by the. I think it's trapped, guys. That was very good. For Inventor, he's such a little scatterbrain. It's very funny.
That was fun. Yeah.
Yeah.
I was a huge fan of the way that you worked like the mechanical descriptions of things in like the thunder gauntlets and like the extra thunder damage being like the pneumatic parts doing the kind of like poof off the end of it was like a really cool description. The mirror image with like the parts of the armor shooting off and like it being devices in and of itself as opposed to purely magic was just very, very cool flavor. I liked it a lot.
Thank you.
I really appreciated knowing when it wasn't your scene. The restraint is hard, particularly for somebody who is like a born performer, like I know you are. It's hard to take a step back, and I appreciated the professionalism of nah. And just, we hadn't forgotten him, but he was just like, and yeah, just chiming in with, Bron is sitting there like, I was like, it's a glorious detail. It was really important. You found the right place to put it in there. It was a nice piece of levity and lightness in a pretty heavy duty scene. And yeah, it was exactly the touch at exactly the right moment. It was really well played. Shanahan says the spider boxing glove stone device was great. The mirror image being part of the armor from Lorite, yes, absolutely agreed. I liked it when Julio connected over being a Palinar servant, and it kind of cut through maybe 5 minutes of persuasion and actually opened the ground to an outcome that might not have happened, says Reading Aloud. But that's a Julio moment. But yes, agreed. John, favorite self?
I don't know. It was yeah. It was a lot of fun. It was fun just playing with you guys. I don't know any necessarily part that I did well, but I enjoyed bouncing off you guys. So, in fact, actually the spider moment, like, I had thought about something to put it back, but I hadn't thought about a little minion. So, like, just bouncing off of people.
Yeah.
I really, really enjoyed you guys. Are great fun to work with. And I know that's not really a moment, but, like,
No,
that was the bit I liked the most about being Bron in this thing, was working with you guys.
Excellent. Glorious. Well, then we need a D3, please. Exclamation mark roll space 3. For Bron, sitting back and glancing about the scene was pure comedy. Yes. Yeah. Thank you, Reading Aloud. Yeah, a D3 to choose between the 3 remaining peoples. Anybody can throw them up, and if we get more than one... Shanahos rolls a 3. You keep missing me. We're now talking about Kingsley. Favorite Kingsley moments.
There was a couple, like, because right at the beginning, when you described how you went into your bat and, like, the eyes.
Oh, yeah.
That was a
cool.
really cool description. I liked that a lot.
Thank you.
But also choosing to enchant Samantha as, like, a check to see if Samantha was enchanted. Like, I love it.
In general, every time Kingsley describes his magic is very cool because it has not just like bard flavor, but it's a very specific type of bard flavor, which is very fun to see. And Kingsley is still like such a like suave and secretive character. We really don't know much about his deal, but other than like we don't even need to because like the proof is in the pudding. You know, he is mysterious, but he knows what he's doing and he has his own approach, but you can like trust in his abilities and in his judgment, which is a very cool character to play.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Yeah, Lorite says Kingsley being totally just a bard. Bishop Blood liked the description of fake muscles, which I appreciated as well. Yeah, it's a nice little bit.
Yeah.
The magic in the eyes was really cool. The hypnotic distraction. Yeah, I mean we've said we love John's flavor for his magic, but I'm also really enjoying Kingsley's flavor for his magic. I appreciate how you've got secrets. And despite my level best attempts to reveal them, you have sort of but I appreciate also your playfulness with that, with letting me like do that little bit, like it just outed me. Yeah, that was really fun. But I really like the chat with Samantha while they were hypnotized by you. Okay, no, I get it. That makes sense. All right, yeah, sort of the willingness to listen. Kingsley is, yeah, the brain. Yeah, it was cool.
I'm pretty sure I have the lowest int, but I'll take it.
Yeah,
I think he's socially smart, you know? He
Yeah.
understands like social situations very well, which is
Yeah.
a very good like intelligence for
Wisdom, I
Bard.
guess.
Oh, definitely, yeah. Oh man, yeah. Kingsley's fun. Keeping secrets is really fun. It was like, it's a silly thing, but I really enjoyed I guess for lack of a better term, playing a stereotypical bard for once, because a lot of the bards that I play, I try to steer away from a lot of the tropes, and so playing one who's extremely obsessed with his own appearance and like freaks out when like things get dirty and when he has to put in the work and stuff was just, it was just a fun thing for me to do because it's a bit out of my normal sort of zone.
Yeah. I saw one
It
today
was a lot
that
of
I
fun.
really want to try, a dad bard. It's just like just supportive
Dad jokes?
and yeah, all of the yeah. So his bardic inspiration is all like, you got it, champ. And yeah, his vicious mockeries are just dad jokes and yeah.
I can totally imagine dissonant whispers. Just, I'm not angry.
Yeah, absolutely. I was like, I'm not angry. I'm just
disappointed.
Yeah.
What time do you call this?
Yeah, not
Immediate
macking
psychic
on
damage.
anybody. Yes. I've enjoyed Hogan's comments in chat as well, but for posterity, I will not read them out. Glorious. Favorite self? Did you do that? I think you did, really, didn't you?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Glorious. Then we need a D2, please. Somebody. See if Shanahouse can pick me. I have a puppy on my lap. She's been very cute.
Oh, look
You're
at her
not
looking up
enjoying
at you.
this
Got a
temperature.
one.
That's a one. That's
Ah,
Julio.
you missed! That means we don't have to do favorite DM moments. That's the rule. Okay. Favorite Julio moments. We'll talk about me later. Favorite Julio moments, everybody.
I think it was coming up with the compromise on the
Yeah.
spot because as much as I enjoy doing all the like the charisma stuff and the talking and stuff, I was really running out of ideas in that scene. I was starting to reach a point where it's like, are we just gonna have to fight this one? And so when you stepped up and you were like, wait, no, and actually proposed a compromise that made a lot of sense, it was just sort of like, oh, okay, thank God, like, what is it? If I'm the brain, thank God the common sense spoke up.
Yeah.
Like it was a really great moment. I think that also showed a lot of from what I've seen, Julio's about. Sort of just very much turning a terrible situation into a chance to suddenly include everyone and just make the world a better place.
Mm-hmm. Thank you.
Bishop Blood, that
Yeah.
is the correct spelling. Well done. You even got the Q in the right place. Yeah.
Yeah, I think that I also had two. The first one was you being like, "Oh, you can speak to seeds? Here, speak to a god."
Yeah.
I was just like,
So
yes.
happy.
I had not put two and two together, and I'm so glad you did. That was fantastic. I mean, also the coming up with the compromise, but that's been said. That was just because I as well was just like,
Yeah.
I got nothing. I can punch him. But
I'm really glad you didn't, because I had not statted him. You were supposed to talk him down.
but like the other one was just jumping onto the priest.
Yeah. Oh, damn it. That was mine. Yeah.
Wow, beautiful moment.
Tackle the air.
Incredible.
Yeah.
Um,
Sorry to steal your moment.
No, that's all right. I loved being Naba with you. I loved for a particular moment you asking Naba about Kren.
I knew I had a chance to like get a little bit of info, just like with Samantha.
Yeah.
I was like I think all the moments that stood out to me were the situations where we could tie things back together, like with the seed to Kingsley, with Kren questions to Naba, with Samantha and like the mental plane politics, because I always enjoy when these like kind of throwaway quests are very important and bring information back. So like, you know, and it turned out it's not a throwaway quest at all, as we figured out by then, but we'll come that in DMOs.
Bishop Blood says making use of the elemental eye. Yeah, that got a workout today. Curious about the obsidian egg left over. Well, yeah, I mean, we need a few more bits and pieces to repair this temple too, but the Tilia have got this now. So, yeah.
Bron did not take the magical shiny egg rock.
Very
No.
good, Bron.
There was a thing that you guys didn't get. Like, Bron and Kingsley never touched the thing, so they never had their chats with what was inside. It would have been more general, less specific than Julio's.
Yeah.
But there was a I will give it to you because it's we're there now.
Yeah.
But the true heart pulses as your surroundings fade away. The heart of Dako that you carried across the wilds materializes in your mind. It hovers over a lifeless jungle entombed in white crystal. Its ruby core pulses with red energy, radiating warmth that melts away the forest, reviving the forest life. Understanding sets in as the land below thaws. You recognize the frozen prison as ice. Your mind is pulled further upwards. From this altitude, you can see other illuminated cells soaring across the southern continent, each pulse with the same warm light, breathing vitality into the jungle. You feel the weight of responsibility as the true heart calls you back. The temple needs help. You recognize that you cannot be that help. As the room shifts and comes into focus, the true heart pulses a second time. Something shifts within the temple, and now you feel that it no longer poses any danger to you. Before the connection is severed, you feel the true heart's final thanks. May the promising guide lead you.
Cool.
So, yeah. And we can say that happened. If you want to have your own thing with the stone. I mean, I was kind of expecting you to touch it when Julio came back and said, I spoke to Naba. You were like, oh, fuck me! And I kind of like that you didn't, to be honest. I was just like, wow, that was a lot of restraint they demonstrated. I would have been touching that thing immediately. It was like, wait, you spoke to a god?
I have reasons to not seem overly interested in amaranth things.
There is that. There is that.
And Bron might have touched its tongue first, so you know.
I touch magic rock. Alrighty. Well, guys,
God is like,
Julio,
Well, it's
favorite
time for-
self moment.
I said mine. I was
Are you sure? I
masterfully
don't
tying things
remember
back
that.
to the main story.
Okay, all right.
What my favorite DM moment is,
Well,
however.
no.
DM. So my favorite DM moment. I mean, there's a lot I really like, but I genuinely did not expect the gift from Amaranthine to like make all the heart into an Amaranthine. I was like, that was kind of an ambition for the entire campaign for Julio when he like met more Amaranthine power. It's like, oh no, I want like all the heart to be on that level of power. I did not expect this to be that. I thought this would be just like a nice trip down memory lane, maybe a little bit of information, and you're like, no, here's the thing, and I'm like, oh, that's the thing. That was very cool, very exciting.
It's not the whole piece of the puzzle, but it's a big piece.
Yeah, I mean that's still very cool.
Yeah.
I also have a number because you guys do great work. But the first one for me was looking forward to the soil. That was really cute. Like you just like you took something that was an item and a sentient item, but then gave it such a connection. Something that it's looking forward to. Just I don't know. As a person who consumes stories, I appreciated that a lot. I was like, that's cool. But then also, like, they kind of tie in together when the Amaranthine said, oh, I wanted to thank you in person. But also when the Naba said, like, Tilia have reasons and not bad ones. Like, I love the way you build your worlds. That they're like, oh, yes, we're a god of this. But that doesn't mean that we hate everything else. We can see that, like, they're trying to harm us, but we see their intent. And I love that. I love that. Because there's so much stories that's like, nope. I'm just this, and that's it. Kill everything else. And it just, I love the inclusiveness of it.
I do appreciate as well that even though she was being very friendly, there was still the sense that there's maybe an agenda in there somewhere. Like that this wasn't necessarily entirely born of benevolence. I'm sure she has her own reasons for doing whatever she's doing with all of this, but the fact that like it still felt genuine, but there's just enough of that hint of like, this is a god. Like you can't really sit there and think that you actually know its reasoning, which I appreciated. But I think the biggest thing for me was just how quick you were to adapt when we threw stuff at you that you had no way of expecting. I think because it happened so many times across both sessions. Like adapting obviously the party in the first session, adapting that to instead be the lizards chasing us, and then adapting when we talked Samantha down, when Bron feared the slimes back into the cracks.
Yeah.
Like all these little things where like we saw what we thought was a connection and went, oh yeah, I'm gonna jump on that, and you've just sort of gone like, Right, yes, that works. And actually just plus one it and kind of kept it moving instead. Like it really just added a lot. It was really, really fun to play. And I hope I can come back.
Oh, absolutely. Yeah, poor dripping slimes. We've had a few in chat as well. Shanohos says, but the way of catching some of the moments and turning the story along it, which happened so many times, was great. Bishop Blood likes Samantha.
Yeah, big fan of the sticking to sibilance.
I was like, what should I call it? No, let's stick with this. This is funny. GM Workshop is raiding. Amazing, guys. Thank you so much for the raid, Rackham, you bloody champion. We are just doing our favorite moments. We're just wrapping up the end of an amazing stream. And a little bit, it's a little narrative arc as well, which has been really fun to play. Guys, thank you so much for joining us. Favorite raid emotes up in chat, everybody. And I'm going to do a quick, yes, we have some raids. We're just talking favorite DM moments, actually, and then we're going to go and raid somebody else. But before we do that, we will find out who these wonderful beans are, and I think we might drop a raid on the Eldritch.
Your self moment, sir.
Yes, I know. I'm just doing the thing. Shout out. I just have to flatter myself. So you guys got here just in time for me to shout out myself. And then
also, other than your favorite moment, can I ask you to do one thing? Tell us, if you don't mind, what is the next part of the Humblewood overarching story that you're most excited to unfold? Because there's a lot of things in play now.
There's a lot of things in play now. There is one of the old party members is trying valiantly to become an Amaranthine their own self. Another is actually closer to it by accident. I don't know. I'm really excited. There's a bunch of stuff going on. The one of the parties is in Barovia and halfway through the whole Curse of Strahd business. I'm really enjoying how that's going. It's about to take a turn, and I'm interested to see where the turn goes. Trish has just been bitten by effectively a werewolf. And curing that isn't that difficult as long as the cleric is there. But the cleric just left on a thing to do a thing. So that's an interesting thing. What's Vesna doing? Yeah, this is the thing. There are so many one-shot characters or two-shot characters. So Daria has played two other characters in this world, Vesna being one of them. Vesna is, or did go to, the Plane of Death with Javier, Volo, and... Oh, Volos, rather, and the necromancy professor from the Avian, Professor Nightseed. So where she is now will basically be up to the next time she arrives in the story. Yes, the rest of the
Daria's characters ever have to fight each other?
I've never made Daria play one at once. Play more than one at once. Dan has.
Oh, give me a challenge!
I've made Dan have conversations with himself. He's like, I cast sending. I'm like, to who? And he's like, and I was just like, you know, you're going to wind up talking to yourself, right? He's like, fuck yeah.
Nice. But that is actually a great question, because Vesna is very much aligned with the death plane. Well, not I don't think she's aware of that, but she definitely is. Yeah. And that is straight against Julio. That is fun.
I think for big narrative arc, the next one is Elemental War. And some big shit is about to go down.
Oh, can we have Avengers Civil War with all the characters fucking duke it out because they're aligned for different planes?
We just had Humblewood Civil War. That was what the last series was called. But it was actually Humblewood itself was having a civil war. So the next up is it's when Team Barovia and Team Humblewood come into conflict. Probably over the way Eric does shit, and Trish does not approve. So that'll be interesting in and of itself. But yeah, the way they resolve Strahd could result in the birth of a new Amaranthine. Yeah, because
Oh
he's
my.
very powerful, and the Terrans do not have one. So yeah, a true blue death, nasty, actual villainous Amaranthine. Because
Damn.
Kren is chaotic evil, but whereas Strahd is chaotic evil. In fact, I think actually Strahd would qualify as neutral evil. That's certainly the way I am playing him. My favorite meme moment, as has been alluded to, I love having it make sense. The baddie isn't necessarily bad. And coming up with Samantha's why, figuring out what the fuck Samantha was doing and why, was important because I didn't actually want you to fight them. There was enough material in the one shot for a 3-shot, and I absolutely we skipped a room, and it was a complicated room. So I was just like, I don't have time for that. And you're supposed to have a whole fight scene with the companions of the Blue Rose, and I was like, no, I don't think they would though. You sort of noped it earlier. So yeah, I love taking something that's published and making it work. A, for the time frame I have, and B, for the narrative I actually want to tell. I obviously tweaked it a lot. There's nothing about the Earth Elemental Plane or the Tilia in the entire thing. And partially that's in reaction to what you guys did. So yeah, I really liked how I did that. I thought that was really good, but for a single moment, yeah, making Samantha's logic make sense. I always like the baddie having a point. And it frustrates the hell out of me when the villain doesn't have a reason in any work of fiction I read. I'm just like, nah, just being bad for the sake of it. It's like, no, I want to blow up the world, but you live on the world. Like, we live here. Yeah, it doesn't make any sense. Are there any official adventures left? Dude, there are so many. Humblewood Tales is out. I don't know if it's in print yet, but I have the PDF. So there's like 6 more one-shots published by the Hit Point Press. We've only played 2 of them on the channel. There is Descent into something or another, and The Tale of Bramblewell are both there. The Descent into it's set in the roots of Alderheart, and it's undead and slimes combined, like skeletons with birdfolk skeletons with slimes animating them. And the Legend of Bramblewell is where I've read it and I was like, have they been reading my fucking notes? Because I was originally sponsored by the Hit Point Press, who wrote the Humblewood. My first season of this show was sponsored by them, and I'm like, have you guys been reading my shit? Because it's a lot of it's lining up, and I'm like, this was published at different time. Interesting. So yeah, there is still plenty left. Yes, but we should go away from here because we've been streaming for a gosh darn while, and I've been flattered thoroughly. So guys, thank you so much for joining us this evening. Rackham, thank you for bringing your lovely folks. And to hang on, we need to go back a little bit. Yes, the Angel Mythos as well. Thank you so much for joining us. We've appreciated the absolute heck out of all of you being here this evening. Let us go and raid somebody else. Zach, are you planning on playing some GeoGuessr? You appear to be live.
What?
Oh, a Renegade Chicken is playing GeoGuessr.
There's another one?
That's not you
Oh,
then.
your long lost brother?
I was gonna say, because that is not me. I can see it,
True.
but no,
Renegade
I am
True
unfortunately
Not that one.
absolutely garbage at GeoGuessr.
I was just like, wow, that is bold. You're not even finished.
No, I'm afraid
Alrighty, I was just like,
my
we
name
could
spelled
raid
different.
Zach. All right.
That was so fun. Zach, start streaming right now.
What we will do is we will drop a raid over on the Eldritch Scribe guys. They are doing some building a setting from scratch. Let's build a world. So doing some world building over there. So we will drop a raid over on them guys. They are our stream team buddies and excellent beans. So throw your favorite raid emotes up in chat. Tell Des and Raph where we came from. Show them the love like we always do. Who the heck have you guys been this evening? Julio.
Great question. I am Daria. I am an artist, and you can see my art here on the channel and as well as in emote form. And I am here most Thursdays playing Humblewood and Julio. And during the winter season, I might also play in Candlekeep or maybe run the Candlekeep adventure. Who knows?
Interesting. Then please fill in the form. Excellent. Zach, who the heck are you?
I'm Zach, or Renegade Chicken. Hopefully, I will also
But
be
not
back for
that one.
Candlekeep. But not that one. I will fill out the form tomorrow.
Please, yes.
Getting to actually get sort of back into D&D and playing stuff again has kind of reignited some of the old creative processes I haven't worked in a while. So I may start making some homebrew again, and if I do, I'll start posting it around in the Discord. I might try to make some Humblewood stuff, maybe.
Hell
This
yeah.
seems fun.
It's a fun setting, isn't it?
Yes.
I
It
like
is a
it.
fun setting.
It's very Redwall, and there's more coming out for it all the time. They are supporting it properly,
Yes.
and I'm hecking loving it. John, who the heck are you?
My name's Jonathan, or McBestington. I've started streaming D&D with these guys and freaking loving it. So,
nice.
yes, we'll be back for more, definitely. So thank you guys very much for having me. I have thoroughly enjoyed myself. Yes, thank you.
Splendid. And mesdames et messieurs, dames und herren, and beings of indeterminate gender and persuasion, I be Josh the Pirate. You can find me here on my channel Corsair's Cove, where I run D&D and other RPG-related games with me lovely wife Karen, the mother of bunnies, and all my splendid friends. But you know that already, because you've done it. You've joined us. You've stayed. You've come. You've done it. You've done all the things. You put us over 800 followers. Thank you so hecking much. We are proudly affiliated with two amazing gaming companies. Firstly, the wonderful chaps over at Wooten Forge. Wooten Forge Gaming Accessories create some of WA and possibly even the world's finest handcrafted wooden tabletop accessories like this Jarrah Dice Keeper, held together with extremely strong magnets, and it comes with a rolling tray on the top. Gorgeous things. Check them out at woodenforge.com/Corsairs Cove, and we get a cheeky little kickback, you bloody champions. I don't shill, but I do have bills. Also, you can check out the amazing folks at Troll Lord Games. Troll Lord Games create they run the Siege engine. They are the authors behind Castles and Crusades and a bunch of other stuff set in similar worlds and associated systems. You can check out their amazing catalog at trolllord.com. They also were the final publishing house for Gary Gygax, the original creator of the D and the D. And so yeah, they published some of his coolest shit, and they've just gotten the rights to do so again, which is pretty cool. So check that space. I believe they're doing a Kickstarter for new releases of that very soon, if they aren't already. So check out their shit there. We will now go away from here, guys, and raid the Eldritch Scribe. Thank you so much for hanging out with us this evening. It's absolutely both the D and also the other D. Yes. Oh, yes. So we will drop a raid with Des and Raph, provided they're still going. Let me just check that they are, in fact. They've only been going for about an hour. Excellent. Well, then we'll drop a raid on them. Guys, as we said, throw your favorite raid emotes up in chat. Tell them where you came from. Show them love like we always do. We'll see you same bat time, same bat channel on Monday evening, either for Teens in Space or Major Magica. Either one, super fun systems with Ardana the Lorite, Sir Terrace, Malika Moon, and hopefully Kato Sullivan. Take care, everybody. Say goodbye, everyone.
Bye.
Bye.
Bye-bye.